Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube and Twitch channels. Oh, my goodness. Sorry about that. And here we are. It is Traumatic Tuesday. And I only have 3 videos for us to watch today, but that's because they are long. We have a 37-minute video, a 22-minute video, and then question period, which is 53 minutes. So it's a long videos today. And it is Traumatic Tuesday, so of course we have a video about influencer parents, and we have a Radical the Unhallowed Night video about a Moor who thinks he's possessed by aliens. And then we have question period. So be prepared to be traumatized, is what I'm saying to you. I hope you're all having a wonderful Tuesday morning and that you have your coffees ready or your tea or whatever it is that you drink. And that you're ready to watch these videos that I have. And we also have some fun new alerts. Pink Hollow helped, he put some awesome new alerts for Twitch, and there's a Streamlabs, the Streamlabs alert has changed. So if you would like to check those out, you can go to the Twitch channel and see what the subscribe thing is and everything, and you can... Hey Bishop! I do appreciate the human form. However, unfortunately, we are ruled over by people who molest children into gender dysphoria and police the internet for R-rated material they did not produce. Yep. And I also get hit by Karens who are fat and ugly and don't take care of themselves. You know, like the Pearl Davises of the world, who who shit on 35-year-old women who take care of themselves and wear, you know, a semi-short skirt or a bikini. Meanwhile, Pearl's like a bowling pin. Anyway. Hey, it's a driving ape, and there's the bits. Are the bits supposed to be different? Okay, the bits didn't work. Interesting. I wonder why they're not working. So, like I said, we do have, and the reason Bishop's talking about that is because I posted on Twitter a picture of me, like, of, you know, what I'm wearing. And I was live on TikTok this morning folding laundry, wearing this shirt and these jeans. Okay? And I got hit for nudity and body exposure. And then I appealed it, and my appeal was denied. So, it's clearly people who are jealous of, it's clearly people who are jealous of the hard work that I've put in. They don't think blind people should look like that. It's very frustrating that they don't think, that they feel that blind people should basically live in a house without decorations and be fat, sad, and lonely and just not have any, you know, self-pride or want to look good. Yeah, Sadie gets it. Yeah, it's true. I am not the only one that gets it. That's why Sadie basically stopped posting on TikTok. I don't see her on TikTok anymore. I just see her on Instagram and YouTube Shorts. Lucy too. I don't see Lucy on TikTok much anymore either. I just see her stuff on YouTube. Because people are just so ridiculous on TikTok. Oh, you're blind? You can't possibly be like you. Pete also gets told he can't be blind because he, uses a camera on a phone and skateboards and like all that stuff. It's ridiculous. I'm really like it, and it's so frustrating. It's like, why do you think that disabled people shouldn't be able to live a happy life doing fun things? But just because they're disabled? Like, seriously? Like, what? Because you wouldn't be able to do it if you were disabled? You think everybody else should just sit around and feel sorry for themselves? It's really pathetic. It's really, really pathetic, and I hate it. Pete is one of the most recognizable voices in existence. Yeah, exactly. He's like the movie guy. Meanwhile, Pete is the voice actor who really does the Mr. Movie fucking phone. Yeah! Pete is like the biggest voice actor out there. He does trailers all the time. He does like Driving Ape said, he does Mr. Movie Phone. He does he just so much stuff. And you can tell, like, when you hear his voice, you're like, holy shit, that's the guy. And he's so like just friendly and kind. He just likes to be around people and have his fiance and his friends around, and he had a dog, and his puppy passed away, unfortunately, but he was an old puppy. But that was his dog that he would pull him on the dog would pull him on his skateboard. And it was awesome. But it's crazy. Like, people just don't think that disabled people should exist properly. It's weird how they think that we should just be alone in a box with no friends, no decorations, no pride in the way we look. Nothing like that. And it's very strange. I don't understand it. I don't understand how that works. All right. Let's go to our first video from Visual Venture, which I don't know if I've subscribed to them yet. Did I subscribe to them yesterday? I did. Okay. So like I said, we only have 3 videos today, but they are long. And, but they're important. Like, and this is from a month ago. But I would like to watch this because it's important. Because this influencer parents are a big problem with why Generation Alpha is always on social media, like we were talking about yesterday with Visual Venture. So let's take a listen to this video called Influencer Parents, or The Disturbing World of Influencer Parents.
Now, as you can see, both sets of people look very similar. Now, the theory going around is that Bebop and BB are this missing mother and daughter duo.
My children were the targets of attempted kidnap.
The momfluencer Katie Sorensen learning her sentence for falsely claiming a couple tried to kidnap her kids.
And
Why
what did
would you
lie
do
about?
that?
that I was forced.
Were you ever forced?
No.
Were you ever threatened?
No.
Some people
So
will do
bits don't
anything
work,
when it
huh?
comes to achieving social media fame, even if it means hurting others along the way. And sometimes the people they hurt are none other than their own children. We'll dive into the insane world of
Frankie.
influencer parents and how each parent went too far for fame. My name is Visual Venture, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week ahead. Bebop and BB. With
I've never heard of these people. Bebop and BB, huh?
over 8.3 million followers on TikTok and over 500,000 subscribers on YouTube, Bebop and BB are arguably the most famous mother and daughter duo on social media right now.
Okay, why does this sounds terrifying already just because of their names? Bebop and BB.
Over the past few years, the two have been able to gain a ton of internet stardom through their unique content, which
do
has
they
been
do?
controversial to say the least. At first glance, the Bebop and BB TikTok account seems like it's full of your usual family content, but after you take a closer look, you might start to notice some strange things about their videos. For starters, both the daughter Bebop and the mother BB are always seen with dramatic makeup in their posts.
So Bebop is the daughter. Okay, I thought BB was the daughter. Okay, so Bebop is the daughter, BB is the mother, and apparently BB thinks it's okay to paint up her daughter like a clown and put her on social media. Got it. Lovely. Good start.
And by the way they talk and act, it seems like a lot of their content is scripted beforehand. Both
Okay.
Bebop and BB behave in very strange ways, with some even describing it as AI-like. This caused a lot of fans to
God.
speculate that maybe Bebop and BB are being forced to make content. And once this theory started, it quickly got out of control.
Oh no, do we have a kidnapped people theory here? Because I don't know, like there's this weird thing on TikTok where there was like these people pretending to be AI on live. So I wouldn't put it past creators to pretend to be AI in their videos as well. And I don't think it would be necessarily indicative of forced content.
Fans started doing deep dives into Bebop and BB's page and found a bunch of signs pointing to the possibility of them being held against their will. People started noticing that in the background of their videos, you could see a lock at the bottom of the door. Then they
What?
started zooming in to other parts of the room, claiming that there were cameras inside watching their every move, or that they could see other people behind the camera from the reflection in their eyes.
Because in almost every video they've made, the background is always the same. Even the furniture and the toys are always in the same place. And if this is not
Okay,
weird
that is
enough,
weird.
there are speakers on the walls and locks on the bedroom doors.
Okay, that is a little bit weird. I will say that. Like, I thought at first these were like obsessed fans who had the, good intentions but were assuming the wrong thing. But I don't that's a little weird. That's a little odd to me. And yeah, enlarging the webcam video looks a lot better. Oh, good. Good. Goody. Goody.
People even went as far as to theorize that Bebop and BB were actually Kate and Ava Baldwin, a mother and daughter duo that had been missing since 2015. Kate Baldwin had taken her daughter Ava and ran away with her, hiding from Ava's father, her family, and the rest of the world for years. And some started to point out the physical similarities between the two pairs, hinting at the possibility that they were the same people.
Now, as you can
Okay.
see, both sets of people look very similar. Here's another example of how similar they look.
I wish I could see. This is why I'm sad that I can't see sometimes, because I wish I could actually see these pictures and compare them. Because I obviously can't provide actual commentary for this section because I can't see the pictures.
Now, the theory going around is that Bebop and BB are this missing mother and daughter duo.
Once these theories started to circulate on the internet, fans who believed in them started to take action. They wanted to help, so they would comment things like "wear red if you're in trouble" or "put a green heart in your caption if you need help." Scarily enough, Bebop and BB actually did these things. In their
Oh no, please don't do that. Please don't tell me they're actually engaging with this and farming the engagement like this.
videos, they would regularly do the action that the top comment asked them to do. And during their lip sync videos, fans swore that they were mouthing words like help instead of the actual words. After multiple videos of Bebop and BB doing these requests, fans were almost certain that there was something much darker going on behind the scenes. Some believed that the two were kidnapped. Others thought that there was someone else controlling them. In some of Bebop and BB's videos, they feature men like Bebop's brother or her father, both of which fans have speculated could be forcing them to make videos.
So, but then wouldn't that negate the fact that they're Kate and Ava Baldwin if they ran away from their father, or the father of Ava? If it's her father, like, I don't know, like this just seems a little bit rabbit hole-y to me.
Needless to say, Bebop and BB became the focus of social media's most trending conspiracy theory. And with such a popular theory being tied back to their page, it's expected that they would gain some new fans. But not just a few, hundreds of thousands of new fans. The Bebop and BB page was getting millions of views a day, with curious TikTok users flocking to their accounts to try and be part of this investigation.
And let me guess, they saw this and was like, oh, this is a good way to get more views and more traffic. Let's keep it up.
But while none of the theories were ever confirmed, a new theory emerged from all of the conspiracies. One that seemed to make a lot more sense. Bebop wasn't kidnapped. She was being exploited.
There's been some inappropriate videos of Bebop that make many people uncomfortable considering her age. There's been live streams where BB purposely plans things in the background to fuel this conspiracy theory, such as handcuffs. People in live streams have told her to touch her nose, tilt her head, or say specific things to show that she's in danger or kidnapped.
As fans started to look even deeper into Bebop and BB's content, they began noticing that it was primarily BB that fed into the kidnapping conspiracy. Rather than someone else controlling both of them, it could be very much possible that BB was making Bebop pretend the theory was real so that there would be more traction to their social media accounts.
Of course. You mean like the chick who was... Remember the woman whose dog was sick and her son was actually upset because the dog was really sick? And the mom was like, the mom forgot to stop recording or clip out the thumbnail part of the video, and she's like, pretend to be sad. And he's like, no, Mom, I really am sad. But do you remember that? Yeah, that's what this is like. This feels like, I think maybe she's a lot more involved in the whole kidnapping thing than her daughter is.
And once people started researching Bebop and BB's past, this didn't come as a shock anymore. Because before the two of them started a TikTok page, they were actually heavily involved in the child beauty pageant scene. BB had enrolled Bebop with a ton of kids' beauty pageants from a very early age, getting her to perform and act in front of judges and live audiences. So already, Bebop was experienced when it came to putting on a show. Not to mention, the child beauty pageant industry is known for creating toxic parents who use their children not just for fame, but also money. So many
creating toxic parents, I would say it is an industry that like attracts toxic parents because it allows them a place where they can just continue to be toxic.
It began to think that BB was just exploiting her young daughter for social media stardom. And what further fueled the fire was when Bebop and BB finally decided to speak up and address the theories. They locked their statements behind hefty paywalls.
But apparently now, after all this time, they are breaking their silence in a news interview, but it's crazy because they're making you pay. I'm sorry, but what? You have taunted people on the internet for years, but now you want people to pay to hear your story.
That's insane. Yeah, we'll tell you what's going on, but we'd like some money first, please. I'm sorry, what? You've been fucking with our heartstrings and our emotions about a kidnapped child, and you want money so that we can get clarification? Yes, please. Fuck you.
Interview was eventually cancelled, likely due to the backlash of the paywall, and the truth was never brought up by BB or Bebop again. But if that wasn't convincing enough, people also dug up past messages from Peyton, Bebop's brother, who was featured in some of the account's earlier videos. In these screenshots, Peyton allegedly claimed that his mother had tried to force him to make content, which is why he no longer wants to appear in the videos anymore.
Screenshots of DMs allegedly from Peyton claim that Peyton tried to expose his mom for forcing him to make content, and that's why he disappeared from their videos.
But after these screenshots surfaced, Peyton made another video addressing the situation, and it wasn't what people expected.
I lied and I hurt them. I hurt their business, what they were trying to do, something that they enjoyed. And
that is so fucking coached. Listen to his voice.
I hurt them.
It wasn't what people expected.
Listen to his voice.
And I hurt them. I hurt their business, what they were trying to do, something that they enjoyed. And it was something that I shouldn't have done. It was very stupid of me.
I lied. I hurt their business and something that they enjoyed. Like, listen to how robotic that shit
shouldn't
is.
have done.
Holy
it was
fuck.
very stupid of me. And I'm very sorry to both of them.
And I'm very sorry to both of them. I am totally not being coached right now with a gun to my head. No. I did not mean to say that they forced me.
And to everything that they were trying to accomplish.
And what did you lie about?
That was everything that they were trying to accomplish.
And what did you lie about?
That I was forced.
Say it.
That I was.
I'm finally awake. What did I miss? Oh, we just started this video. We're talking about influencer parents. Spittle buggies. But like, listen to how robotic that kid is. Like, I didn't lie. I and then his mom. And what did you lie about?
And what did you lie about?
That I was forced.
Say it.
That I was forced.
Say it. Wow. No. You're not coaching him at all.
Were you ever forced?
No.
Were you ever threatened?
No.
This video raised a few red flags as people still believed.
Were you ever forced? Like, she's so angry.
No.
This video raised a few red flags as people still believed that BB could very much just be forcing Peyton to say these things to save her reputation and maintain her social media fame. At the end of the day, none of these theories about Bebop and BB have ever been confirmed, but it seems pretty clear that BB is using her young daughter, Bebop, to make content for her own personal gain, and that she's willing to fake a kidnapping conspiracy to keep growing her page. And Bebop isn't the only young girl being forced to make content. In fact, there are some influencer parents who do things.
Oh, is that a, let me see. Is that a Twitch thing or a YouTube thing? Let's see. Just you testing stuff? Okay. I don't know why they're not working. You did a lot of work.
Things that are much worse to keep their male audience happy. Ren Eleanor. Before we talk about the disturbing case of Ren Eleanor, I want to thank this video's sponsor, War Thunder. War Thunder is a vehicle combat MMO game featuring over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships from early 20th century biplanes and armored vehicles to fighter jets and tanks of the modern age. The game's environment is beautiful with lifelike graphics and sound effects. Something that makes War Thunder unique is its intricate damage model, where every vehicle is broken down to its individual components like the engine and fuel tank. If a vehicle is destroyed, the X-ray view shows the exact impact point of where the vehicle was damaged and what components were affected. Not to mention, this game has in-depth customization options. They have an array of camouflage, historical markings, and decorations for every vehicle, including ones created by you guys, the community. So I have a gaming computer to create these videos, but even then, games like Apex still lag for me. But War Thunder is optimized to give you a lag-free experience experience even on regular machines. This game has a player base of over 70 million people that you can PvP, and if you're into military history, this game is for you. Play War Thunder for free on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox now by using my link in the pinned comment or description. New and returning players that haven't played in 6 months across all platforms get a massive bonus pack. That includes the Eagle of Valor, 100,000 silver lions, and 7 days of premium account only for a limited time. Ren Eleanor has become one of the most recognizable faces when it comes to child influencers. At just 4 years old, Ren is famous with over—
Oh, isn't she the one where her mom had her in the bathtub with her bathing suit on? And there was like all these creepy guys in the comments and she didn't do anything about it? I'm pretty sure that's who this girl is.
Over 17 million followers on TikTok and over 600 million likes. The account is run by Ren's mom, Jacqueline, who films her daughter participating in all sorts of social media challenges and in her day-to-day life vlogs. Her daughter, who's bubbly and personable, soon became one of the most beloved child influencers on the platform. And
yeah, except children shouldn't be influencers. This is why. This is the problem, okay? This is the problem with why children are on social media. Because we have stupid parents like this. Or even the parents like... the parents who have like a TikTok account for their kids. Or like they have an Instagram account for their kids. Or they let their children go on Instagram or Facebook without watching what they're doing.
And one of the richest too, securing major brand deals with companies like Shein. But all that success comes at a cost, especially for such a young girl like Ren. Because while many of her followers are just people who find her content fun to watch, others keep up with her content for more unsettling reasons.
You start finding comments like this, and also comments like this, and even random grown men duetting the TikToks of the little 3-year-old girl calling them pretty. Then you
gross, and the mother does fuck all.
Also find out that there are loads of fan accounts of this 3-year-old girl. And yeah, this comment comes from one of those accounts of where somebody was saying that they were putting the photos of this girl on his bedroom wall.
And with such a growing male adult fan base, you would think that Jacqueline would want to do all she can to protect her daughter. But instead, she creates content specifically for that demographic. More than once, Jacqueline has been a source of controversy for the nature of the content that she posted onto the Ren Eleanor account.
In one video, Ren is just doing her daily activities. The video has been saved by over 14,000 people, which is already kind of suspicious that so many strangers would want a video of a random child on their phone in the first place. But in this other video, Ren is doing her bath routine. This video got over 3 times as many saves.
Jacqueline had—
That's gross. That is the saves on a child taking a fucking bath. No fucking thank you. You people are disturbing. What is wrong with you? Okay, now it's time for 10 squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, ow, fuck you, hip, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. Okay.
Had Ren posed this way for videos on multiple occasions. The most infamous incident was when Jacqueline had Ren play with a feminine hygiene product on camera as if it were a toy.
No! Why? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with
her daily activities, the video has been saved by over 14,000 people, which is already kind of suspicious that so many strangers would want a video of a random child on their phone in the first place. But in this other video, Ren is doing her bath routine. This video got over 3 times as many saves.
Jacqueline had Ren pose this way for videos on multiple occasions. The most infamous incident was when Jacqueline had Ren play with a feminine hygiene product on camera as if it were a toy. That video was saved by over 300,000 people. All of these videos have caught intense backlash and have since been deleted, but that doesn't mean the damage wasn't already done.
The comments on some of Ren's videos were absolutely disgusting and disturbing. And to be honest, Jacqueline should be embarrassed and ashamed for not monitoring what these monsters on the internet were saying about her now 4-year-old daughter.
And comments like that were normal on all of Ren's videos. It was becoming increasingly obvious that a big part of Ren's fan base.
This is why, even at the age my kids are, I'm like, no, you're not going on the internet. And when people are like, can we see your kids? I'm like, no, you fucking creepos. Fuck off. You can't see my kids. Those are my kids. Go away.
Base were people who should not be consuming her content. But rather than taking preventative measures, Jacqueline tried to defend herself and her parenting with this video back in 2022.
Defending.
Do not mom shame me because we have different parenting styles. I look forward to making more videos with my daughter, and I am committed to making
styles? Dude, you're giving your daughter you're giving pedophiles full access to your daughter. That's not a parenting style. That's just being a shitty parent.
Changes when I turn my account comments back on. I will filter them to remove offensive comments and report and block accounts as necessary.
Although Jacqueline promised to monitor the comments to protect her daughter, she didn't take action for months, which allowed the comment section to grow into a place filled with disgusting messages. And soon things got even worse. On TikTok videos, there are suggested searches that pop up which showcase the most commonly searched terms about the specific account and video. And for
that's true. And I would like, I want to do mine at some point. I'm just curious. I want to see what comes up when I type in blind press on TikTok.
And for most of Ren's videos, the search suggestions became topics like Ren Eleanor hot dog or Ren Eleanor pickle. Upon seeing these videos and these comments, a TikTok movement led primarily by concerned mothers started taking over the platform. This movement was meant to encourage TikTok to remove kid-focused content for the sake of protecting children and their privacy.
Or how about making it how about we pass an actual law? How about instead of COPPA being what it was, COPPA should have been children under 18 shouldn't be on, or 16, I'll say 16. Children under 16 shouldn't be on social media. That's my thing.
Especially from those who shouldn't be consuming this type of content. As of this video, she's since turned off all of her comments, but that's all the action she's taken. Because since the controversy started, Ren's content has only gotten more questionable. But while Jacqueline may use her child to make content, there are other mothers out there who use their kids to make money in other ways. Jasmine Moss. Jasmine Moss is your standard mom influencer. She works a regular 9 to 5 while also creating content on the side as a hobby to earn a little extra income. Jasmine is a beautician who posts content for her daughter as well as her day-to-day work on Instagram, particularly in waxing. Waxing videos have become a popular niche on social media as people like watching the wax remove hair quickly and seamlessly. It's part of the growing trend of satisfying beauty treatment videos like pimple popping or blackhead removal. But while her fans have gotten used to her posting these videos, they never expected that she would bring on someone new to wax her clients. Someone who is definitely not qualified.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, please no, not her. Please no.
A mother is in jail after police say her daughter helped to wax clients at a waxing studio. Memphis police say that child was only 5 years old.
On her
What is wrong with you? First of all, you have your 5-year-old around hot wax. That's just dumb in the first place. Second of all, she's obviously not trained, so you are liable if she hurts somebody. And third of all, she has no business touching other people, even if it's to like, oh my god, no.
Her since deleted Instagram account, Jasmine shared content of her daughter doing wax services on her clients. In the post, she boasted to her followers about how her daughter had allegedly waxed 24 people in just 8 hours. Several concerns came from these posts. The first being that the wax was extremely hot and not safe for a child to be handling. But most importantly, Jasmine's daughter wasn't just doing any regular sort of waxing. She was specifically doing bikini waxes for women. Now,
no. Why are you having your child touch women's private areas? That is not okay. Like, I don't care if she's the same gender. That's not okay. That is not okay at all. That is incredibly sexual. Like, on your part, like, that's sexual abuse at that point for your daughter.
Not only was the young girl being subject to hot wax, but she was also being forced to get extra close with them to do the waxing. Once these photos were posted, concerned followers started to share these images with the police. The Memphis Police Department received several complaints following this post going live, and they decided to investigate the situation. Jasmine was eventually arrested and charged with child neglect and other related charges, with her Instagram content being used as primary evidence.
Good. And good for her followers for actually sticking up for that little girl. Good for her followers for not going, oh, well, it's just content, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's a lot of people who gain a following. Their viewers tend to give them a pass a lot of the time, and I'm glad that these ones did not.
But if you thought getting your child to work for you like this was bad, then you might want to brace yourself, because this next mom takes it one step further. Jessica Gasser. When children have rare illnesses, it's a heartbreaking story, which is why it's no surprise that when TikTok user Medical Mama Jez shared her 3-year-old daughter's journey with a rare medical illness, she gained a ton of supporters.
I think I've seen clips of this video where she was like gonna die, and then she got some treatment or whatever, and she's like, I'm all better. Is that the clip I'm thinking
Jessica
of?
Gasser, a 27-year-old mom, would share content about her young daughter and her road to recovery to her 25,000 followers on TikTok. But it was recently revealed that while Jessica had been making a ton of content about her daughter's rare medical condition, none of the videos had any truth to them. Actually, her daughter wasn't sick at all. The real problem was Jessica pretending her daughter was ill to get attention.
So she's
been hospitalized repeatedly.
On social media and in doctors' offices, 27-year-old Jessica Gasser allegedly claimed her 3-year-old daughter was medically complex. But the Tarrant County Sheriff's Office says she was lying.
Although Jessica's daughter was perfectly healthy, Jessica still did everything she could to keep the act going, including taking desperate measures to try and make her child seem sick or convince herself that she was.
Okay, so she actually has fucking Munchausen by proxy. That's what this is. That is straight up Munchausen by proxy.
For the past few years, Jessica had been taking her daughter to several hospitals throughout the Dallas and Austin areas trying to get her a medical diagnosis. The affidavit showed that Jessica was being accused of doctor shopping, which meant going into countless doctors' offices and lying about medical history to try and get the results that she wanted.
They're presenting a false medical history to a medical provider who rely on that history in order to form a diagnosis.
Jessica would ask the doctors to run blood tests and a wide variety of other tests to attempt to fake a medical condition for her daughter that wasn't there.
And those tests are invasive. Like, that's a lot of pokes and scans and, like, blood draws. That's a lot for a little kid to go through.
That way she could get prescriptions for the medication that she would show in her content, and also be able to film her daughter during medical treatments to keep the lie going. It got so bad that her daughter even had to be hospitalized a few times for these abrasive tests.
Oh Poor little girl. I think this is the little girl, the clips of the little girl that I saw where she's like, I'm all better.
These procedures caused her daughter to end up with several injuries. Doctors in Texas quickly caught on after Jessica and her daughter visited several hospitals and medical centers within a short time frame. Jessica had initially taken her daughter to the Texas Medical Center where her daughter was given a feeding tube since she wasn't eating enough. Months later, when Jessica moved onto a different doctor, they ruled out stomach issues and offered to remove the feeding tube because her daughter seemed healthy, but Jessica refused. That's when medical professionals in Texas began their suspicions about Jessica and how she was treating her daughter. So
why would you refuse to have your daughter's feeding tube removed if she did? Oh, you are sick, lady. You need help. You need major assistance, lady. You are very ill.
So in June of 2022, the first report to the Department of Family Protective Services would be filed, along with a second report just 4 months later in October of 2022. Around that time, many Texas doctors started refusing to run any more tests. But instead of stopping, Jessica just went to hospitals in other states. Yeah. She visited medical facilities in 3 different states for checkups and diagnoses that ended up totaling over $200,000, all to look
shitballs. 200 grand? And let me guess, she crowdfunded most of this.
Diagnoses that ended up totaling over $200,000, all to look for medical illnesses that her daughter
have such a hard time crowdfunding, and why do I feel like such a shithead for pushing my Streamlabs link? Because of people like this.
Simply did not have. But all that money didn't come out of nowhere. Using her social media page as promotion, Jessica ran a successful Etsy shop called Enchanted Tubey Tapes, where she sold custom designed tape for feeding tubes and other medical tools. The shop has over 749 5-star reviews and over 3,000 sales. And like most influencers that fake illnesses, Jessica also ran a GoFundMe page. According to the page, all donations were going towards travel expenses to the Cleveland Clinic in Ohio, which she and her daughter needed to go to for medical treatment. This treatment has since been confirmed by doctors as unneeded, but Jessica had gone through with the GoFundMe anyway, earning $683.
Still, like that's not a lot, but it's still money that people donated that they could have used to feed themselves and their families. And she just took it.
Along with receiving a $1,638 donation from a philanthropic organization to cover both their flights there. And Jessica knew that what she was doing was wrong. During the police investigation, it was revealed that her search history was filled with things like is lying to a doctor about a child illegal and countries that take families on asylum from CPS. The daughter has since been removed from Jessica's care and is perfectly healthy without medical treatment. And Jessica is being investigated by the Tarrant County Sheriff's Office for alleged medical abuse. Jessica has since deleted all her social media content, but the lasting effects on her daughter cannot be undone. This next case is very different because instead of having their kid fake an illness, he used his to help with his TikTok thirst traps.
No.
Pepito Fonzie 1. We already know that some influencer parents like to use their children for views on social media, but few manage to cross as many lines as Pepito Fonzie does. This TikToker, known for his thirst traps and his gym content, is no stranger to showing off his physique online. But things got much weirder when he started to show his foster children in his videos.
Oh, he's a foster dad?
Of him showing his body like this with the caption, "When she wants cuddles." But guess what? His adopted daughter appears.
In his former videos, many of which are deleted, he would use his foster.
No, dude, no. That's not okay. That's not okay at all.
Foster children, a young daughter, and a baby boy as props for his videos. The videos would have suggestive captions or even actions which are highly uncomfortable to watch considering that Pepito is their adopted father. Pepito purposely phrases his words and frames his videos to form a narrative in the viewer's head, making it feel very unsettling. And the narrative he builds in his videos are highly inappropriate for a father to have with his kids. Some of these videos weren't just suggestive, they were straight up creepy.
Now,
for whatever reason, this man decides to stick his hand in the diaper of the baby and get out. Well, you seen what was on his hand, and then he wiped it on his face.
What the what the like I said, Traumatic Tuesday. God damn. What the Somebody go take those kids away from him.
Not to mention that in the corner of many of his videos, Pepito would plug his Snapchat account where he had spicier, more adult content. And when more and more people started seeing these videos, they knew that they had to take action. So they started reporting his videos to Child Protective Services, and the children were eventually taken away.
Good.
This next parent also posted similar content, but arguably much worse, because while Pepito seemed to only post questionable scenarios, Katie actually acted them out. Katie Boogie. One of the most common types of content for mom influencers includes doing dance challenges with their kids. But Katie didn't want to take that approach.
That's one thing. That's another thing. No, I'm not doing that with my kid. My kids, they like, and I take videos of them, but those are for family and like me and Driving Ape. They're not for my blind press accounts. That's not where I go, right? Like the videos of my kids do not go on any blind press accounts. That's just not where they go. They go to like I'll text them to like to family or like, but no, you don't. No.
Approach. Instead of dancing with him, she decided to dance on him instead. This type of dancing combined with the suggestive captions are enough to make a person sick to their stomach. But this wasn't the only video posted of this nature. Most people were quick to call out Katie for this disturbing behavior, but others, they thought differently.
She made several dancing videos with her child. Now let's read some of these creepy comments that were left on her videos. You did nothing wrong. He clearly wants it.
Unfortunately, there is no further news as to what.
Dude, he clearly wants it? What the fuck? What is wrong with people? He clearly wants it. He's a kid.
What happened
and
to both Katie
mom.
and her child after these videos started gaining traction. Jenny Popuk. Rosalie Aritola was only 15 years old when she became one of the most famous stars on social media. Taking on the persona Jenny Popuk, Rosalie would gain over 7 million followers on TikTok before she suddenly disappeared from the platform. Like other girls her age, Jenny posted videos of her lip syncing and dancing, but many people who watched her videos found themselves disturbed by the end of it. Unlike most 15-year-old girls who did this for fun, Jenny clearly had another motive. She wanted to attract a certain audience.
People found it quite shocking how Jenny was wearing bikinis and very revealing outfits just to film TikTok videos when she was only 15 years old.
Despite her young age, Jenny was posing suggestively in almost every video and wearing clothes that seemed like they were for a much older age group.
And this is why I say don't let your kids be on social media. Just don't. Just don't.
Regularly seen wearing swimsuits, crop tops, and short bottoms in her videos, and lip syncing to suggestive songs with vulgar lyrics. And many people who watched these videos grew concerned, and for a good reason.
Yeah.
Jenny spent a lot of her life on social media, and with all of her content being this suggestive, they feared that she was putting herself at risk of being taken advantage of. In most cases like these, the parents would usually want to take action to prevent their child from being possibly harmed. But not Jenny's. They didn't seem to care. In fact, they seemed to support it. Jenny's parents are advocates for the type of content that she makes, often encouraging her to keep posting the way that she does.
Yeah, if I found out that my kid was like, if I found out that my kid was like, if one of the boys was like thirst trapping for like his like at the gym or like taking dick pics and sending them to like I would fucking smash his phone. I'm serious. I'm sorry. How old do you think you are? Do you think you're a grown? Oh, you think you're a grown-up? Okay, well, guess what? You can be a grown-up and figure out how you're gonna earn the money for your own phone and phone bill then, okay? Smashy, smashy. That's the fuck what I would do. No fucking way am I gonna support my kid posting like that on the internet.
Jenny's mom, Maria Ulacia, is especially fond of Jenny's social media fame.
Oh,
in an interview with Bloomberg, Maria was asked about the allegations that were going around about her exploiting her daughter. Instead of addressing them, she brushed them aside, calling it funny and proudly saying that she and her daughter loved the attention that was coming from her growing following. But these answers shouldn't come as a shock to anyone who knows who Jenny's mom is. Back in 2020, Maria caught massive heat after she took then 13-year-old Jenny and a few of her friends on a trip to the Hype House. The Hype House was a content house known for personalities like Charli D'Amelio, Addison Rae, and Lil Huddy. Their house was a large-scale mansion in Los Angeles, and Maria decided one day that she wanted to take a visit. But instead of asking for a tour, she decided that she was just going to break in. On June 12th, 2020, Chase Hudson, aka Lil Huddy, took to Twitter to post this tweet where he talked about how a group of girls and their mother had broken into the Hype House and stole his clothes. The girl.
What the fuck? Just because? Just to go see the house. They just broke in and took shit. Just broke in and took shit. Okay.
The girls and the mother in question were none other than Jenny, her friends, and her mom, Maria. And to make matters worse, they didn't just trespass onto the property. They also filmed content inside. Maria shot several videos in different rooms of the Hype House, posting them onto her own personal Instagram and TikTok accounts. What she considered to be content would turn out to be incriminating evidence. After all this broke out to the public, Jenny posted a statement on her Instagram saying that she had obtained special permission from a caretaker at the Hype House to enter.
That's not how that works. And no, you didn't. You really didn't obtain anything from anybody. You liar. What the fuck are you talking about?
This incident was what created many people's first impression of Jenny and her mother, and it wasn't a good one. To many, it seemed like Maria was encouraging questionable behavior with her daughter. Jenny was only 13 at the time when this all went down, clearly incapable of making proper decisions. Another major red flag was a viral video from Christmas 2021 that Jenny posted that featured her younger brother. There was a trend going around TikTok where couples would be dancing together with one person being covered in wrapping paper. The other partner would then spin them around and unwrap them, revealing a different outfit underneath. Often it was something revealing, and Jenny hopped on the trend. The suggestive outfits had already been a common part of Jenny's content, so that wasn't the biggest issue anymore. The real concern was that the person who was unwrapping her in the video was her very own brother, and he was unwrapping her to reveal Jenny in a swimsuit underneath.
No, dude! That's your brother! What? No! Never film your crimes, kids. Right? Fuck, what? And also, why are you having your little brother unwrap you to reveal yourself in a swimsuit? Oh, that's just gross. You're 13, don't be doing that
Jenny decided to follow a trend where her brother unwraps her to reveal her swimsuit. It did not take a minute for TikTok to flag Jenny's video.
At this point, there was no denying that Jenny needed guidance because clearly her parents weren't capable of doing the job. Since then, fans have started pointing out Maria's terrible parenting and attempted to understand why she was so determined to use her daughter in this way. One of the reasons was just how obsessed Maria seemed to be with not only her daughter's fame, but also Jenny herself.
Yeah, it seems like she's just living through her daughter because her daughter is doing stuff that she wishes she could do, and instead of like growing up a little bit and realizing, hey, I have a daughter, maybe I shouldn't act this way, and maybe I should help her and guide her to be a better person than I am. she's just like, no, this is all okay. I really enjoy this. This is fun.
She is a 16-year-old who is being basically exploited by her mum. Her mum is basically trying to live through her. And why do I say this? Take a look.
Are you wearing my clothes? Wait, move.
What happened?
Are you wearing my clothes?
I've just been trying them on. Like, what's, like, the problem?
I didn't make a problem.
I'm just saying, like...
I just said, are you wearing my clothes?
Yeah, I've been
Why do you have to be rude all the time?
To many, this...
Like, what's, like, the problem?
Are you wearing my clothes?
I've just been trying them on. Like, what's, like, the problem?
I didn't make a problem.
I'm just saying, like...
I just said, are you wearing my clothes?
Yeah, I've been
Why do you have to be rude all the time?
Oh, I feel that. I feel that. Are you wearing my clothes? No. Well, okay. You don't have to be rude. And of course she's wearing, her mother is wearing her daughter's clothes. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't it be that the daughter is like borrowing the mom's clothes all the time and like that? I'm pretty sure that's how it should be.
To many, this seems like a classic case of a parent trying to live through their kids' experiences.
Yep.
Maria herself has openly admitted that she knew she would be famous one day and that her daughter is her destiny to obtain that fame. This could explain why she would go to such extreme lengths, such as forcing her to wear revealing clothing or dance provocatively just to get that fame she so badly desires. Jenny has since left TikTok, but she still makes content on YouTube and Instagram. This time, she's ditched the persona, now using her real name, Rosalie Aritola, to post videos. And the content seems to be a bit better than before. However, her mother is still very much involved. Katie Sorensen.
My children were the targets of attempted kidnap.
Katie Sorensen
I think I saw this video. I recognize that voice.
Went viral in 2020 after she posted a storytime video on her Instagram account, Motherhood Essentials, about a terrifying experience that she had in a Michael's craft store in California. One that left her on edge and her viewers on the edge of their seats. She was shopping for necessities with her 4-year-old son and 1-year-old daughter, and after getting everything she needed, she and the kids headed towards the car in the parking lot. But it wouldn't be a quick trip to the car, as there would be one horrifying obstacle in the way. A couple that wanted to steal Katie's children. After escaping their grasp, Katie immediately called the Petaluma Police Department to report the incident as an attempted kidnapping. A week after the report, she went and retold this story on Instagram. Katie claimed that she made this video to raise awareness of kidnappings and to remind parents to keep a close eye on their children at all times.
I wonder what, when people like fake shit like this, I wonder if they actually create an actual scene at the place and was like, oh my god, someone's trying to steal my children, and like freak the children out too, or if it just like, she just like sees people and decides that those are the people she's going to accused of trying to steal her kids when she calls the police to pretend that they were stolen. Like, how do these things work? I don't...
They walked kind of close behind me. I definitely felt the heebie-jeebies. I didn't feel good, but I thought I was judging a book by its cover.
Also saying they, quote, weren't clean-cut individuals and made comments about her kid's appearance.
They're saying blonde hair, blue eyes.
The video instantly blew up with countless concerned viewers in the comments wanting to know more. The video ended up getting 4 million views, which for a smaller creator like Katie was a stepping stone to a prosperous social media career. But while many people believed the story online, there was one unexpected twist. It was all a lie. And that while there was a couple near Katie and her children at Michael's, the couple did not commit the crime that Katie was describing. The police were quick to expose the truth behind the video after reviewing CCTV footage of the parking lot, which did not support Katie's story at all.
That crafty and annoying CCTV footage that always seems to fuck with the plans of liars. Isn't that always interesting? Like, I've never understood this whole, like, and how do they, so she must have just saw the couple and was like, I know, I'm gonna say they tried to kidnap my kid. Kidnapping is a crime. false reporting it is just as bad. Yup.
In fact, the couple she accused were fully cooperative with the investigation and were quick to clear their name against the false allegations.
Yeah, I bet.
The investigation has produced no evidence or witnesses corroborating the account provided by Sorensen. Evidence gathered has served to support the account provided by the couple from the store.
From this incident, Katie not only lost social media followers, but also her freedom.
The momfluencer Katie Sorensen learning her sentence for falsely claiming a couple tried to kidnap her kids.
Katie was sentenced to 30 days in jail and 60 days of work release for making a false report of a crime.
That's it? Oh, I would have given her much longer for falsely reporting a kidnapping.
Along with 12 months of probation where she was not allowed to use social media. Zakiya Duncan. Zakiya Duncan seemed like your average mom on social media. She didn't have a huge following, but she did regularly post content, mostly with her kids. In videos, you could see her dancing and laughing with them inside their beautiful home in Texas.
I'll talk about my kids and I'll talk about certain things that happen with my kids, but I do not show my kids.
Appearances can be deceiving, especially in Zakiya's case. Underneath that big, happy family facade, those kids were living in a house of horrors, and it was so bad that 2 of her kids actually had to run away from home.
New surveillance video shows the twins going to a neighbor's home early yesterday morning begging for help. Police soon got involved, and that's when the twins' mother and her boyfriend fled with their 5 other children, sparking that Amber Alert.
Turns out
that means there are 7 children. 7 children.
Zakiya's life wasn't as perfect as social media made it seem. The twins, who were the eldest of the kids, weren't being taken care of at home. They were always locked inside a room, underfed and dehydrated. They would only get sandwiches made of mustard and relish once or twice a week. And
holy shit. Let me guess, these twins were from a previous relationship and the other 5 were with the boyfriend.
When they did have something to drink, it wasn't nutritious. The twins weren't allowed to leave that room or allowed to participate in the TikTok videos that their mom made. Online, Zakiya took on the persona of a family-oriented, loving mother and constantly posted videos like this with her 5 kids.
Family time is always the best time, so get your family time in, you guys, always.
Of course the fucking smoke detector is broken. Showing your kids isn't ever a good plan. Nope. That's why I don't do it. That's why I don't let them have accounts online, and that, yeah.
Come here. Family time is the best time. You love your family? Love your family.
She would post all of this while the twins were fending for themselves in the other room. While it's unclear why Zakiya had such a preference for the other 5 kids, this sort of behavior wasn't new. 10 years ago, she'd also gotten similar charges. After the twins were able to free themselves and get help, police began looking for the couple. They attempted to run away with the rest of the kids, which sent a statewide Amber Alert for Zakiya's 5 kids who were aged 7 to 14. They were all eventually found in Baton Rouge. Zakiya was charged for what she had done to the twins. However, the children were ultimately returned to her. Tiffany Raquel Smith.
That sucks.
Piper Smith is arguably one of the most famous teen YouTubers today. Ever since she joined the platform in 2016, she's earned over 11.9 million subscribers and 3 billion channel views. She posted what any regular teen influencer would: challenges, skits, and other lifestyle content. But all of Piper's
were they tied to the bed like the other couple? I'm not sure. They were locked in a room.
Popularity can't be credited to her. Piper's channel is managed by her mother, Tiffany Raquel Smith. Many of her videos also feature her content group, The Squad, which consists of other teen creators who are all Piper's friends, some of which were already well known. Tiffany oversaw a lot of the content being created for Piper's channel and acted as not only a guardian, but also a mother figure for a lot of the squad. At least that's what it looked like on camera. camera, but the truth was far from that.
This young lady's amassed more than 10 million followers on YouTube, shooting silly videos with her friends. Now Lisa Guerrero reports some of those now former friends and their parents are suing, alleging they were exploited.
A 147-page complaint was filed in January of 2022 and had 11 of Piper's friends involved, each suing for emotional distress and other mistreatment from Tiffany between the years of 2017 and 2022 when they worked for her. Each kid and their parent is suing for an estimated $2 million each, bringing the total to $22 million.
For young kids as young as 9. So yeah, a lot of these allegations, frankly, they are very grotesque.
Behind
That's a hefty lawsuit.
Scenes, Tiffany wasn't just giving guidance, she was pulling the strings. And when it comes to Piper's channel growth, she'd found one strategy that she believed always worked, even if it wasn't the best for the kids involved. Tiffany would treat the squad members as if they were actors, giving them roles and fake crushes so that she could pair them up to create ships and drama that would pull in the views.
Oh no. So she basically was the female Dan Schneider of the TikTok influencer community.
This not only strained relationships between the teens themselves, but also opened the window for hate online, since certain fans only supported certain pairings. But even after generating billions of views for Piper's channel, none of the members of the squad ever got credit for all the energy and time they put into the videos. While Piper had almost 12 million subscribers, none of them ever got close to her level of popularity, even though they were putting in just as much work. And they never got paid either. Although it's unconfirmed whether or not they were promised money in the first place or just publicity. But even
so, they were exploited for free. Tiffany is sounding horrible, isn't she? Holy fuck.
And then their personal careers also suffered at the hands of none other than Tiffany herself. The complaint that was filed claimed that Tiffany had conspired to ruin the channels of the members of the squad by using bots and falsely reporting their videos to drive down their views and growth so that they would not outshine Piper. The complaint also touched on other issues like the comments and actions that Tiffany had done over the years. Despite the ages of the squad members, Tiffany regularly said things that she shouldn't have to them, particularly to the male members. But if you thought this sort of treatment was only restricted to the squad members, that would be false, because Tiffany also exploited her own daughter Piper. One of the worst instances, which was outlined in the complaint, was when Tiffany took some of Piper's undergarments and mailed them to an unknown individual. And when
What? Why would you do that to your daughter? Why? Holy shit, what is the matter with you, woman?
her daughter confronted her about this, Tiffany just said that the person likes to smell this stuff. Tiffany has since tried to countersue for $30 million, saying the mothers of the Piper squad members were trying to extort her, but this case was dropped almost immediately. Piper and the ex-members of the squad continue to regularly post on their YouTube channels or other social media platforms. My friends, let these stories be a reminder that on social media, it's almost never as it seems. There's always more than meets the eye. So keep your eyes peeled. Visual Venture.
Thanks a ton to War Thunder. Play it for free on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox now by using my link below. New and returning players that haven't played in 6 months across all platforms will get a massive bonus pack.
Before you go, make sure you guys click subscribe here and then click this playlist to watch more dark internet documentaries. Because
then you haven't played in more than you haven't played in over 6 months, you'll get a massive bonus pack. What was I gonna say? So that was a crazy video. Especially with the chick sending her own daughter's underwear to a person so they could smell it. What in the hell is the matter with that lady? Jesus Christ. So I'm going to do a be right back. I'm going to grab some water and then we're going to switch to our magical video. So let me mute. Apologies for the lack of music, but I'm just going to mute. Please share the stream and I shall return in a moment. Okay. We are back. And now it's time to switch gears for our Ragical video. And the reason I'm playing a Ragical video today instead of Friday is because the title of it sounds so out of this world, literally, that I think it will fit in for Traumatic Tuesday. Pretty much just as well as Felonious Friday. So, without further ado, let's see what Ragical has found with this alien-possessed Moor.
Some say this might be edited. Some also say the original is more disturbing. Prepare yourself for absolute insanity.
What the fuck was that laugh? Oh boy. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. I can tell now.
It's the gentleman in the green coat, the one with the lady in the brown coat.
You just want him going?
Yes.
You just want him out?
Yes.
How's it going, guys? You alright?
Yes.
How you doing?
Aladdin Marak Bey, North American National.
No, it can't be. Are you the Aladdin Marak bin Bey North American National?
Aladdin Marak Bey, North American National.
I see. So what exactly are you trying to do here? Playing bingo while scrabbling? You just spit out all the moronish wordy bits, huh?
The North National Republic Federal Government.
What the hell was that? He had some wordy bits left, huh? I mean, I kid you not. We are in the presence of an absolute twat waffle. The dick flute variety.
We're protected under treaties and Constitution, and my whole thing is that we're here protecting ourselves under Constitution.
We're here protecting ourselves under. Oh
All right,
God!
well, I'm letting you know that I'm Empress Luna Latoya Bay. I'm with the Moorish National Republic Federal Government and Moorish American Consulate.
Do they know? Also,
Okay,
imagine
YouTube is
being
acting
inside
weird.
a bloody
Okay.
library and still being this ignorant about absolutely
Black
everything.
people should
I mean,
not
from
do
the looks of it,
drugs.
they probably took books are like food for your brainy bit.
Books
literally.
are like food
I mean,
for
is that
your
the reason why
brainy
they want them
bits?
gone? No, they're also threatening people. You know, let's be real here, but maybe they are eating books. I wouldn't want book eaters in my library.
I'm a Moorish Consul General.
Uh-huh.
A
Who's
Moorish
this, though?
Consular General.
I mean, facial features are a thing, and you don't look like that. Could it be a picture of Latoya Dun Bay or something? I don't care what she said. But yeah, we could be looking at some form of identity theft.
Identity theft. And I'm protected under treaties and Constitution. Do you understand that?
No.
Do you?
We're communicating with our consulate, and they're already on notice. Okay.
Our
now,
consulate?
You still have to leave the building.
Principles under consular jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Aladdin Marak Bey, ex-relation to Navon Gilroy, the corporate name, and then you have Luna Latoya Bay. All right?
Latoya Bay? Luna Latoya Bay.
To the front desk, please.
Are you for real? Sadly, they are. Also, what are you on, man? What the hell? Your eyes are like saucers.
And also, it sounds like he's been smoking like 8,000 cigarettes.
Lydia Smith, but we're in honor, okay? And we need to see 3 forms of identification. I need to know who you are. Okay.
They're insane. They are.
Listen, we need to.
So listen.
We're commanding to see a sheriff.
So listen, the sheriff don't.
So
we
listen.
need to get the sheriff, okay? So you guys need to leave.
Yeah.
Don't you just hate it when there's someone right next to you constantly interrupting you? You tell him, Aladdin bin Bey, huh? You gotta stand your ground, man. This invisible man next to you in your brainy bit is kind of annoying.
Okay.
What's going on?
If you don't know.
What's going on? What's
bloody
going on is you have to leave now, you crazy bastards. You need to go away.
Pretty, man.
Just listen to me.
I'm waiting on our consulate.
I'm waiting on our consulate.
Are you going to leave the building, or are you going to
Are
go to
you
jail for
forcing me
trespassing?
against my will under threat, duress, and coercion?
No,
No. Coercion, not coercion.
You are going to leave the building, or are you going to
Are
go to
you
jail for
forcing me
trespassing?
against my will under threat, duress, and coercion?
No.
Coercion. Say it with me. Coercion, not coercion.
No, I'm telling you have to leave because this is their property, and they're telling you are going to leave the property.
Do you deal with any treaties or constitutions?
Okay, listen to me.
What is your nationality?
What is your nationality? My nationality is the same as yours, American. Now shut up and leave the building.
We're going to leave the building,
communication with
or
the
you are going to go to
Archbishop.
jail for trespassing.
It would
It's up
only
to
be
you.
kidnapping. I don't accept your offer to contract.
It's not
I'm
kidnapping.
commanding
it's an
you as the
arrest.
direct lawful heir.
I am commanding you as a police officer. It's
offer
not.
to contract.
It's not kidnapping.
I'm commanding
it's an
you as the
arrest.
direct lawful heir.
I am commanding you as a police
I am
officer.
what?
Offer to contract.
It's not kidnapping.
I'm commanding
it's an
you as the
arrest.
direct lawful heir.
I am commanding
you as the lawful heir?
you as a police officer of Dayton that you are in Dayton to leave the building or go to jail. It's up to you.
It's only, I don't accept your offer to contract.
Okay.
You overstand.
I don't accept your offer to contract. Do you overstand?
To leave the building or go to jail. It's up to you.
It's only, I don't accept your offer to contract. Do you overstand?
So you can.
She actually said overstand. She actually said the words, do you overstand? This is actually happening on body cam. This is actually happening in real life on body cam, you guys. There is a person asking somebody if they overstand because these assholes don't use the word understand because they don't stand under anybody. Streamlabs.com/blindpress for alcohol donations.
So you can leave the building for 30 days. You can go to jail.
I gotta remember that, man. Next time I get a speeding ticket in my duff. Hey, don't laugh. I might have to tell the officer I don't contract with. I'm gonna get arrested, though. How do these people function is the question at hand, and I always ask it, and I never got an answer. And here's the kicker. I never will.
Nope.
I'm letting you know I don't accept your offer to contract.
And I'm letting you know that you have to leave the building for 30 days
Do
to
you
go
have
to
an
jail.
Article 3 federal court? Do you have an...
Okay,
I'm
ma'am.
letting you know.
You don't even know what you're asking for. You can't even... Do you have an Article 3 federal court?
If you don't have a declaration... If you don't have...
They have to be. That's our international protection. I've already been communicating with them for the
International
last 2
protection?
days. Our whole thing is to get grounded on jurisdiction and status.
These guys are just using words that they don't understand the words they're saying. They're just saying big words in rapid succession, hoping that they will be thought of as intelligent. I just It's okay to say. I stand under ladders for fun. I stand under ladders for fun. That's funny. I like that, Spittlebuggies. That's hilarious. Yeah, we can get parental consent for tattoos in Ontario too, Spittlebuggies.
However,
So listen, okay, you have to leave this building, okay, because the staff doesn't want you here anymore, and you can't come back for 30 days, okay? And if you don't want to leave, then you guys can go to jail, okay?
I don't want to get kidnapped right now, okay?
Well, you're not going to get kidnapped.
You're not going to get kidnapped. You're going to be lawfully escorted to jail because you weren't leaving.
I'm telling you that you guys can't be here.
But it's like you can't even be in my land either, but I'm not doing that. If you're an honor, you be here.
Not doing anything, you say, while you're tweaking out. I mean, let's be honest here. How many wheelbarrows or whatever you took did you take?
Now as the beneficiary of the state, hold on.
The beneficiary of the state.
The beneficiary and heirs.
I believe you. I mean, I don't know who you're talking to, but I believe you. That you think you're talking to someone. And I'm not talking about Letitia, Latoya, Simsalabim, or the officer.
Simsalabim.
Sorry.
Right, but they can let you know that they don't want you to be here, so you can't be here. So you guys either need to leave or you can go to jail. You're not allowed to come back for 30 days. What's your name?
I don't have a name. I have a title.
I don't have a name. I have a title. Fine, asshole. What's your title?
Mm-hmm. And I bet that title is giving a false name, right? That's also not legal, Mr. Bimbo Baggins. I don't care what they're calling themselves. No one should.
Okay, yes or no, do you want to leave?
I'm grabbing my documents and I'm letting you know, okay?
Get your documents and let's go.
I need to see some identification.
Right. Badge right here, name right there. Grab your documents, let's go.
These guys are not putting up with any of this bullshit. They're like, yep, here's your identification. Get your shit, get out.
So I'm letting you know you're
welcome to Walmart. Get your shit and get out.
Within our borders. Are you guys?
Is that your folder?
Are you guys attempting to kidnap the national?
Look, you're gonna leave. You're gonna go to jail for trespassing.
We can only be kidnapped. We're commanded to speak with a sheriff.
We can only dispute with a sheriff, and then otherwise you're kidnapping us. Okay, that's gonna go over well.
Okay, you have to leave the building, or you're gonna go to jail for trespassing. It's up to you.
Okay, you guys need to walk out
of the building. We're commanded to speak with Robert Shrek.
And I am commanding you to leave the building.
Is your recorder on?
Okay, absolutely.
On the record.
Let the record show. I mean, this is a terrorist organization. How come SWAT
No, that is a Johnny Quest reference if I ever heard one.
No, you do not. You need to grab your stuff and leave. You're going to go to
honoring his rear.
You have a delegation of authority order signed by an article to the federal
grab your stuff and leave. You're going to handcuffs right now.
I'm letting you know our consulate's on the way.
Put your stuff on the table.
Okay, let me do the side races real quick. Ow. And this isn't even halfway through the video, so it's about to get funnier. Ugh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Back to the live scene. Oops. There we go.
Table.
I'm not accepting your offer.
Put your purse on the table.
You know, here's the thing, though.
I
think they genuinely believe that if they say they don't want a contract with the police, they just can use it as a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Yep.
I mean, it's basically a bank robber that comes out of a bank with a big bag of money with a money sign on it, and he tells the officers, I don't want a contract with you. So...
Yeah, I don't want a contract with you. I'm just going to leave with the stuff I stole.
The officers are left with nothing, and they just have to let them go. That's how it works in their brainy bit. That is literally what we're dealing with here.
This is my...
Okay, put your stuff and your purse on the table.
Who the hell carries toilet paper around in an envelope of all things?
We're walking out the door.
You're forcing me against my will. I'm under threat, duress, and coercion.
Put your stuff on the table or you're getting put in handcuffs. Okay, get your stuff and leave
or
or
you're
going
speak with
to
Rob
jail.
Shrek.
Oh! Outside! I mean, that's what you said.
Michael Robert Shrek. Okay, or a supervisor.
Okay, then let's go outside.
Okay.
Because now I'm
looking
the
grand.
and I'll call my supervisor.
What did he say? I missed that.
And you guys as subjects and trustees within our borders, this is a lawful command.
Now I'll call my supervisor.
Oh! Outside! I mean, that's what you said.
Michael Robert Shrek. Okay, or a supervisor.
Okay, then let's go outside.
Okay.
Because you're not allowed in this building anymore. And I'll call my supervisor.
So with all due respect, I fucking hate when people say that. with all due respect, that basically means they think you deserve no respect.
Here, homie, just outside.
And you guys as subjects and trustees within our borders, it's a lawful command.
Here, take your stuff.
Okay?
It's a lawful command.
Don't accept your
Let's
offer
go.
to contract.
Yours too. Here, let's walk
you
out.
know.
Let's go.
Okay?
Come on.
I
let's
don't
go.
accept
Don't
your
touch
offer
me.
to
Keep your hands
contract.
to
You're gonna get
yourself.
put in handcuffs. You don't
I'm letting you know you're forcing me against my
That's it.
will.
That's
You
fine.
guys
Let's go.
And
I
nobody
need you guys to
cares.
be in honor. You hear me?
We are. Let's go.
Okay?
That's it. That's fine.
You
Let's
guys,
go.
I need you guys to be in honor. You hear me?
I need you guys to be in honor. What does that mean?
We are. Let's go.
Okay? I need you to show me respect like you showed your mother. You hear
Well,
me?
you're not showing us respect, so let's go.
Okay? I'm the direct lawful heir.
I'm guessing the bucket of pure.
Your mother, you hear
Well,
me?
you're not showing us respect, so let's go.
Okay? I'm the direct lawful heir.
I'm the direct lawful heir of what? Of what? What are you the heir
I'm
of?
guessing the bucket of pure insanity is your inheritance, huh? Holy hell, lady. Why? You want respect? That's a good one.
Okay? And you're my Moroccan subject and trustee within my borders.
Let's go.
You're
Okay,
my
let's go.
Moroccan subject. Go back to Morocco then and act this way, you dumb bitch.
Let's go.
You're going to be fine for
Let's
that.
go.
You're going to be fine for
Let's
that.
go.
I'm
Send me
letting
in
you
court.
know.
Go.
Our consulate
Keep your hands to
continues-
yourself, brother.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Let's go.
I bet you would love to touch the ancient Egyptian gods, wouldn't you?
Let's go.
What the fuck? Egypt is not Morocco! What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay.
And there's that insane grin. I'll let you guys decide which one is more creepy. This one?
Let's go.
Or this one?
Out the door. Let's go. All right.
We're communicating with our consulate and they're already on notice.
Sounds good.
Okay, anything you do, you're forcing us against our. You're forcing
What
us
door do you
against
wanna
our.
go at?
Don't
Which door
touch
you want
me.
on that one?
Keep your hands to yourself.
You're gonna make this difficult. Okay.
Okay, listen. Let's
If you-
just communicate.
If you want
you hear me?
this to go.
No, you're not communicating. You're being... I don't know what it is that you're being, but you're just being fucking crazy.
Smoothly.
It's already going smoothly because we're
Walk out the
in our
door.
sovereign capacity.
Mate, if you rub both of your brain cells together, there's no capacitor to even form a capacity. Moron is sovereign citizen.
Out that door. Let's go. Go.
Okay.
Let's go. Come on.
I'm letting you. Keep your hands to yourself.
Listen, you're not cooperating. Let's go.
Okay, keep your hands to yourself. Not a lawful command. Okay, keep your hands to yourself.
That's a
And
lawful
you're
command.
kidnapping
Who the
and I'm
fuck
under
do you
threat,
think you
direct
are?
escort.
Oh, right,
You're
the
coming
direct
too.
lawful
Let's
heir.
go.
That's
Keep your
right.
hands
Let's go.
to yourself.
Now.
Okay, we have not violated any treaties or constitution.
Let's go.
Okay.
Come on. Let's go.
All right,
Let's
we're
go.
letting you know.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Let me know all you
She
want.
inherited
You
PCP
guys
and
wanna
laced
get
weed.
deported.
That's fine.
Okay?
Yeah,
Let's go.
probably.
Okay.
Let's go.
How could she go back
I
to a
think
place
I know
she
what's
could
going
never,
on here.
she has
They don't
never
know
been?
what a door
True.
is, and they don't know how did you guys get inside? Imagine these guys encountering a revolving door. They'd get lost.
It's a setup. I know it's a setup.
Let's go.
It's a setup.
You attempted
Yeah.
to assassinate the
Let's go.
nationals. Keep your hands to yourself.
Listen.
Keep your
Assassinate?
hands to yourself.
That
Everybody
escalated
get your
quickly.
cameras out.
Let's go.
Everybody get your cameras out.
Let's go.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Let's go.
Ah yes, the people that call
The
the police
people
on
that
you,
hate you are gonna
actually
are
threaten
gonna
with their
film that
lives
for you.
and,
Yeah.
you think they're on your side? That's some impressive braining right there. And with impressive, I
Just
mean,
cuffed them already.
where's your
yeah.
brain?
And that's a lawful
Come on,
command.
both
You
of you
hear me?
out this door right now.
Okay,
Let's
we
go.
don't accept your offer to contract.
I don't care what you
And we're
accept. Let's
already in
go.
ongoing. Okay.
Then call them all. Okay,
We
let's
are in
go.
ongoing communication with our bishop and the
Let's go.
provost marshal. Okay.
And the bishop is obviously not coming out to get you.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Can't serious?
Okay, no, you cannot. Okay, I need you to be in honor.
Put your hands behind your back.
Okay.
I need you to be in honor.
You're good.
I got it.
She's saying like every single buzz point. There are the cuffs, finally.
You hear me? Okay. Do you hear me? Under international law, do you deal with any treaties or constitutions?
You're not in international waters. You're not under international law. You're under American law.
I'm pretty sure if someone wants to make a soundboard of moronish sovereign citizens, there they are. Have at it.
Do you deal with any treaties? What's your nationality? And don't damage my stuff. Okay? Okay, I'm letting you know.
Give me your hand.
I'm letting you know that I'm under
fighting me.
I'm not fighting nobody.
Exactly. You stupid dick flute.
I'm not fighting nobody. That would be a double negative.
Keep your hands behind your back, understand?
Now, right now, we're letting you know that we're under threat, direct coercion, we're demanding to speak. This is a setup, everybody get your phones out. They're attempting to assassinate the National.
Which is side.
They're attempting to assassinate the National. They're attempting to assassinate a Canadian news broadcast? Huh. That's fascinating.
Where did these come from? How delusional are these fine upstanding citizens?
We got cameras right here. Okay, we're letting you know. Okay, this is coming from an article. This is coming from an Article 3 federal court. Okay. You like being in our borders, don't you?
Come on,
so
walk.
I need to do my first.
Let's go. We will come back for all your stuff.
Okay, no, I'm commanding to have our things.
Okay, listen.
Did she just say she's commanding to have an opinion? No.
Yes, she did. She's commanding to have an opinion. Ragical, where the fuck do you find these people? Even if they have immunity, they could still be arrested. Okay, cuff and body slam drag via hog tie moment. I hope that would be nice. Oh my god. I am commanding you to have an opinion. Oh, fuck.
What the hell does that even mean?
You're gonna walk out the building.
And you can loosen up on the National. Come on.
Walk then.
On the National.
I can walk.
Okay.
If he looks up the National, he'll see that it's a Canadian broadcast run by the CBC.
We're commanding to speak with a sheriff. Do you hear me?
Come on, step over.
What is this?
Step over.
Ma'am, those are stairs. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're terrified of them because trying to figure out a door is already hard enough.
What is this? What are these newfangled contraptions? Doors and stairs? These aren't in Morocco. Where I've never lived.
Imagine stairs.
Listen. Our conflict's already on the way.
Keep walking.
I'm letting you know. Okay?
I'm letting you know that you are disobeying order of a police officer. Okay?
Let me see 3 forms of identification.
You can see my badge and my name. Let's go.
Okay,
No, I didn't. I told you I was officer of Dayton Police. Keep walking.
Okay? We're already in going communication.
Hey, be an honor, man.
Come on, man. Come on.
We're ingoing. What's ingoing? You mean ongoing communications? We're in ongoing communications? Is that what you're trying to say?
You are not walking. You are pulling behind. You are not walking, okay? So walk to the car, or I'm going to carry you to the car.
I'd pay money to say that. Also, why don't
she
you drag
walks
her to
under
the
a
car?
ladder and
I
wonders why she isn't
that.
getting higher in
We're
the
not
sky.
a threat. We're an honor. You hear me? And so do you guys need me. You need to be an honor. Okay? All right?
Nobody understands you.
What are you, a Mason, Shriner, P.T. Mason, Skull and Bones, Nice Temps, Nice and Malta?
What?
I command you. What's your nationality?
I command you! What are you, a priest exorcising a demon? I command you! What's your nationality, demon?
Do you deal with any treason?
Where from hell are you?
I'm commanding to be released immediately. Do you hear me?
Shut the hell up. I mean, how long can you go on saying the same thing over and over again and thinking
apparently
you are right?
forever,
I mean, I was
Radical.
talking about a revolving door. I guess that is what your brainy bit is,
This clip off.
Do you hear me? I don't give you permission to touch my property.
That's fine.
Nobody cares.
I'm not under arrest. I don't accept your offer to contract.
That's not how that works. You are under arrest. I was surprised that she was about to say... I thought she was about to say, I'm not under arrest because I'm not under anything right now.
How do you function?
Okay, and you're being detained.
That's fine.
Ha!
Yep, I'm being detained.
You're being detained.
Do you have anything?
Where?
You can remove from my borders, you hear me?
My borders.
Talk like that doesn't what?
What
You don't
borders?
get in, yes, I will force you into the car.
Like I said,
Okay?
you're
Get in the car.
getting deported. You hear me?
You're getting deported. You're getting deported, she says as she's being forced into the police car.
Okay? If you're gonna be a disloyal subject, I don't need any belligerent trustees within my borders.
Who the fuck do you think you are? Do you think you're like a queen or something?
Stupidity. It's impressive, isn't it? How they've survived to this age.
You're a belligerent trustee, and I don't accept your offer to contract.
That's fine.
I
Get
need
your
to
leg
see
in the
3
car
forms of
right now.
identification. Okay, I'm committing to speak with a consulate and a sheriff immediately.
There's no sheriff coming. Sorry.
I'm letting you know I'm the sheriff.
Okay, so...
Immediately.
There's no sheriff coming. Sorry.
I'm letting you know I'm the sheriff.
I'm letting you know I'm the sheriff. Does anybody have any lorazepam for her? Or maybe some Haldol? Like something strong?
Okay, so do you want to talk to yourself? What? That's the end of that sentence.
Wah!
Within my borders, okay? Do you have a delegation of...
I'm the sheriff within my borders. Okay, then.
Do you? Because you're already being watched. Deportation.
Oh, is that a suggestion? Also, I guess you found your borders in the form of a door slam.
How much paint chips did she eat as a child? I don't know, Spittlebuggies.
It would be like... Yeah, let's go for that one.
Where's her buddy?
Hello. Okay, so they're both going to go to jail today. Oh, you can eat your lunch all you want. That's fine. I don't really mind. I'm going to give you a report number.
Okay.
Sounds like my schizo aunt when she used meth. Oh God, schizophrenia and meth. That can't be a good combination.
Yeah. So Monday. Do you work?
Yes.
Here. Okay. Are you allowed to leave like during work if it's for a work-related incident?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So between 1300 and 1500, you need to go to the prosecutor's office. Prosecutors.
What is that, 1, 3?
I will let you know if those people do come back after the 30 days, because I know they only wanted 30 days to start.
Yeah, well, and I don't know, you might need to talk to our, like, head of...
Is he here?
Security. They're downtown.
Okay.
Heather McClure and Luke Lawson.
Do you have a phone number for them?
Yeah. Because we will write up incident reports.
So these people, they're expecting them to come back.
I don't know, honestly, if they would rather them do this instead of me.
If they want to show up for it, we've dealt with the library enough. I don't know how much the interaction you heard that we had with them, but they're sovereign citizens. They believe that they don't fall under any jurisdiction in the United States.
Yeah, they kept saying international law.
Yeah, well, they're sovereign citizens out of somewhere that's based out of New Jersey, so
Okay.
yeah.
I
They'll
talked
probably
to one
cause
of
the
our-
same incident next time they're here.
Right. Like that was their goal, right? Like, because they were lingering here for a while.
Right.
And I had asked our guard, because I could tell, I was like, something's up with them, like, keep an eye on them.
So they had no business being there. They had no business being there at all. They literally just showed up to cause an issue. And their quote unquote bishop was not there. Their quote unquote nobody was there at all. It was just like they're just there to cause shit. And that's basically all they were there for. That's insane. Fucking sovereign citizens, man. I can't stand that shit. That shit drives me insane. Alright, guys. We've got 53 minutes of question period to go through. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. That was a big stretch. Whew. Okay. So, here we go. We have question period, and hopefully we'll have the big boys back, the Polyev and everybody. Let's see.
Questions the Honorable Leader of the Opposition.
Oh, hey, this guy. I don't mind him.
After 9 years of this Prime Minister, he's not worth the cost of mortgages. 76% of mortgages will go up over the next 3 years, according to the federal office that keeps an eye on banking in Canada. That's after the Prime Minister promised that interest rates would stay low for Canadians. All this while the Bloc is voting in favor of $500 billion of bureaucratic inflationist centralizing spending, which increases interest rates. When will the Prime Minister cut waste and lower interest rates? The Honorable Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance.
Oh, it's Chrystia Freeland. It's not Justin Trudeau. Still has not graced the House of Commons with his presence.
Speaker.
Mr.
The Conservatives don't really care about Canadians who are having a hard time paying their mortgages.
Yeah, says the woman who told everybody to cancel Disney Plus and that would save them enough money for food. Yes, sure, that's exactly right.
And we know this because
they want to cut all the programs that don't have anything to do with federal government.
Our Canadian Charter for Mortgages, which is really something that will help Canadians. They oppose 30-year mortgages for first-time homebuyers. The only things the Canadians are in favor of is cut. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition. Cutting taxes, absolutely, Mr. Speaker. According to the Journal de Montréal, Quebec's taxpayers are being bled dry.
They are, just like everybody else in Canada.
Obviously, it's not a surprise to see that 75% of respondents to a Léger poll said that they're not getting their money's worth. The Liberal Bloc, meanwhile, wants to increase taxes. So why not at least accept my common sense plan to suspend gas taxes for the summer? The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance. Mr. Speaker, the reality is that the Conservatives don't have a plan.
Ha!
The only thing
That's
that the Conservatives understand is austerity.
Trust us, bro! They don't have a plan! Austerity is bad! Well, when it comes to when we're in an inflationary time, no, austerity is not bad. There are times in life when you have to be austere with your budget. That's not necessarily a bad thing.
The only thing that they can do is cut, and cut some more. They want to cut our plan, our dental care plan, which is very popular in Quebec. They want to cut...
It's not federal jurisdiction.
School food program.
Because
once
nobody
again, a
wants
very popular program in Quebec. And obviously, they're not going to...
A very popular program in Quebec, yes. Where? For who? Who is this program popular for, I wonder? I would really like to know who finds this program a good idea.
Support our plan for young children. Very important for Quebecers as well.
You're the opposition.
Don't you care about the children?
9 years, this Prime Minister, this NDP Liberal Prime Minister, is not worth the cost of mortgages, 76% of which will become more expensive over the next 3 years, according to the federal banking regulator, OSFI. This after the Prime Minister said rates would stay low for long. We know that his massive government deficits have driven rates up 2 percentage points higher than they otherwise would be, according to Scotiabank. So will he accept my common sense dollar-for-dollar plan to cap spending and cut waste to bring down interest rates so Canadians keep their homes?
No.
The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker,
we know the truth.
The Conservatives don't actually care about Canadians who are struggling to pay their mortgages, and we know that.
And you do, right?
Forward something very concrete to support those
Americans are
the
fighting even
strengthened
against
Canadian
school
mortgage
food
charter,
programs.
They refuse to support it. When
Because
we
they don't
put
want
forward a plan
them.
to help first-time home buyers with 30-year mortgage amortizations, the Conservatives voted against it. The fact is, the only thing these Conservatives know how to do is cut, 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 and the only Canadians they care about are themselves.
That's not true.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Speaker, we have voted against everything this Prime Minister has done to balloon the cost of living of Canadians, to increase food bank use by 50% over 3 years, to send 1/4 of all young people to the food bank in 3 months alone, 1/4 of all Canadians skipping meals because they cannot afford a home, a 38% increase in homelessness since 2019. 50 new homeless encampments in Toronto, now a total of 256 of them in the biggest city in the country. Why is it that the more they spend, the more Canadians hurt?
Here, here, here.
That's a good question.
Prime Minister and Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, we will take no lessons from the Conservatives.
Oh my God.
when it comes to
What is
supporting
this
the
liberal
most
talking point
vulnerable
bingo?
Canadians. The
We will
fact
take
is,
no
when
lessons
we formed
from the
government and when they
Conservatives.
left government, the poverty rate in Canada was 14.5%. It is now 9.9%. The Canada Child Benefit has lifted hundreds of thousands of children out of poverty. The GIS helps 900,000 seniors. The only thing they
900,000 seniors. That's not even a
Tory
million
times are hard
seniors.
times, Mr. Speaker.
You think there are only 900,000
Honourable Leader of
seniors
the
in the
Opposition.
country?
We know how to cut taxes, Mr. Speaker, and that is why we reduced poverty and had affordable homes 9 years ago when common sense Conservatives were in government. Since that time, housing costs have doubled. Mortgage payments have doubled. Rent has doubled. The number
Grocery
of
prices
homeless
have
encampments in Canada is up by hundreds of percent. We now have 1 in 4 Canadians skipping meals because they can't afford the cost of food. Will the government finally stop the policies that make Canadians poor, get off the backs of the working people, and let Canadians keep their homes?
Here we go. Let's see. National School Food Program, carbon tax rebates are good.
Mr. Speaker, we know what the Conservatives really believe and what
Here we
they
go.
really do.
Austerity.
When this leader was in government, how many homes did he actually get
He
built?
only built 6,000.
Just 6 homes. We know what Conservatives do to programs that support the most vulnerable. Cut, cut, cut. We have put forward a national school food program.
We
a
don't
dental care
want
program,
one.
National early learning and childcare. They want to cut those programs. We won't let them.
I
Mr.
feel
Speaker.
like I'm in Groundhog Day.
The Honourable Member for La Prairie. On May 10th, the Minister of Immigration met with his provincial counterparts. They announced a working group to deal with asylum seekers. Last Thursday, Minister Fléchette wrote to the minister because nothing has happened since then. I'll remind the minister that he had said that the status quo was no longer acceptable, except that since this meeting, it's the status quo. While our public services are having a really hard time, we have a working group that is working.
Oh, no, wait. Sean
Is
Fraser's
there a
the
working
housing
group?
guy now.
And
He
when
was
will they
the
meet,
Minister
and
of
when are they going to
Immigration.
deliver results?
Hey! Then I have Minister.
The Honourable Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to say to the House that the working group will be meeting in the upcoming week, but that doesn't mean that work hasn't been done upstream to get ready for those meetings.
We're working on it. We're working on it. We're meeting. We're doing it. Trust me, bro. We're having another meeting in a couple of weeks to figure out more things to talk about doing later.
I spoke with Minister Fléchette this morning, and I'm looking forward to seeing the work move ahead because the status quo is not acceptable.
La Prairie.
The Honourable Member for La Prairie. Since 2017, Quebec has welcomed more than 50% of asylum seekers in Canada, even though we're only 22% of the population. I'll remind the minister that he denied this this imbalance for months. He even suggested that the idea of having a welcoming capacity was not necessarily a clear idea.
They also called it xenophobic for Quebec to be like, hey, let's have a bit of a cool down on how many asylum seekers you're sending into Quebec because we're having trouble absorbing them all. The government was like, oh, that's xenophobic and separatist. How dare you? How dare you do that? And it's like, what the Oh, I should have gone pee before I came back. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. Okay. Sorry about that. I have returned. Okay.
He has since seen the light.
Oh, shit.
And, it's only fools who don't
Hold
change
on.
ideas. So now, is he going to stop demonizing Quebec, stop trying to buy time, and finally make sure that this situation is fixed? The Honourable Minister. It's true, Mr. Speaker. We know that the Bloc Québécois doesn't understand the difference between capacity and desire to welcome, but we are going to work to make sure that asylum seekers are welcomed across the country. There are several provinces that are taking on a higher number, and that needs to be fixed.
Did they actually just say that?
Mr. Speaker, it's difficult to find the words to describe the horror of what's going on in Rafah. Women and children were burned alive in tents. They were told they were in a safe zone, in a refugee encampment, yet they were burned alive. What will it take for this Liberal government to send a message to Netanyahu that what has happened is inexcusable?
And what about Hamas? Why are you always shitting all over Netanyahu, dude? Why are you not talking about what Hamas is doing?
What will it take for this government to take actions to prevent this genocide from happening?
The Honourable Minister for Foreign Affairs.
Mr. Speaker, even in times of wars, there are rules. And the images coming out of Rafah are horrific, heartbreaking. Our position has been clear on Rafah, and we've been saying it now for weeks. Palestinian civilians do not have any safe space to go. The killing of innocent civilians is completely unacceptable, and the decisions
then maybe Hamas
of the
should stop
International
hiding
Court of
behind them.
Justice are binding.
Like,
The
what
level
is
of human
Israel
suffering
supposed
is
to do?
catastrophic, and that's why, Mr. Speaker, we need an immediate ceasefire.
The Honourable Member for Burnaby South. The images from Rafah are horrific. Women and children have been burned alive. What will it take for this government to send a clear message to Netanyahu that what he's doing is inexcusable? What is it going to take for this government to finally
I hate how he doesn't talk about what Hamas is
this
doing.
genocide?
It's like nothing that Hamas is doing is apparently wrong.
The Honourable Minister of Global Affairs. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Even in a time of war, there are rules to be followed, and the images coming out of Rafah are horrible. They're heartbreaking. Our position on Rafah is clear, and we have been clear now for weeks. Palestinian civilians don't have anywhere to go, and killing innocent civilians is completely unacceptable. The decisions of the International Court of Justice are binding. The level of suffering for civilians is catastrophic, and that is why there must be a ceasefire immediately.
The honourable member from Calgary, Forest Lawn.
After 9 years of this Liberal NDP Prime Minister, hunger and homelessness are up as 1 in 4 Canadians are food insecure. It's because this carbon tax scam leaves Canadians with less money in their pockets, food in their bellies, and fuel in their cars. This Prime Minister and this carbon tax scam are not worth the cost.
That is
Conservatives are calling
strange. Whoever
for all
is
federal
talking
fuel
right now
taxes to
has
be
a
axed
black
this summer,
screen.
so Canadian families
Really?
can save an average of $670. Will this road-raging finance minister stop the road trip wrecking and implement this common sense?
And I'm on the
conservative
right
ask,
screen,
yes
right?
or no?
The Honourable Minister of Finance and Deputy Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker.
Oh, here we
The
go.
only thing the Conservatives believe in is austerity. And the
No,
only
it's
thing
not.
they know how to do
And maybe
is
if
cut,
we weren't
cut,
being
cut.
spent up
That's
the
why
river,
it
we
is
wouldn't
no
have to be
surprise
austere.
That they would like to cut the carbon rebates that are putting more money back in the pockets of 8 out of 10
I need to
Canadians.
refresh?
It is
Okay,
no
hold on.
surprise that they want to cut a national school food program. It's no surprise they want to cut our national early learning and child care plan. Mr. Speaker, they have no
Hold
real
on,
plan,
hold on.
but they're letting the country burn.
Common sense conservative ask, yes or no?
How about now?
The Honourable Minister of Finance and Deputy Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the only thing the Conservatives believe in is austerity, and the only thing they know how to do is cut, cut, cut. That's why it is no surprise that they would like to cut the carbon rebates that are putting more
It's weird,
money
it's like
back in the
CPAC is
pockets
losing video.
of 8 out of 10 Canadians.
Huh.
It is no surprise that they want to cut a national school food program. It's
No, it's
surprise
not,
they want
because
to
it's
cut
garbage.
our national early
It's a
learning and
garbage
childcare
program.
plan. Mr. Speaker, they have no real plan, but they're letting the country burn.
Oh! They're letting the country burn. They're letting the country burn. Yes, yes, it's them. It's totally them. Yeah, them. It's their problem that oh wow. Okay.
The Honourable Member from Calgary, Forest Lawn.
No doubt we will cut the carbon tax scam that will leave more money in Canadians' pockets. And she wants to talk about a food program. That food program has no food in it. The only thing these guys have been feeding over the last 9 years is the already obese government. What common sense conservative governments are going to do is we're going to axe a tax for good. Why don't they just call a carbon tax election so we can show them how it's done anyways?
Have a good one, Spittlebuggies.
The Honourable Minister for Natural Resources and Energy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is incredibly disappointing to see the misleading information that the honourable member actually puts forward.
The
It is very
misleading
clear. 300
information.
economists, the
Wow.
parliamentary budget officer have said
The
8 out of 10
misleading
Canadian families get
information,
more money
yes.
back. Our approach is one that actually addresses the existential threat of climate change, does so in a manner
the
that is actually
existential
affordable for
threat.
Canadians. And to be honest with you,
Holy
his
fuck.
constituents should be asking him, I'm sure they
How
are,
dramatic
why he
can you
campaigned
get?
on putting in place a price for pollution in the last election, and now is actually taking such a hypocritical position.
I must talk like this.
Kawartha Lakes Brock.
Thank you, Speaker. I'll be sure and tell the people in my community that are suffering under this NDP Liberal government that a bunch of well-to-do economists and some tenured professors saying that life's never been so good. I'll make sure I tell them that. Speaker, common sense conservatives have put forward this plan. We're asking the government to axe all federal taxes on gasoline from today until Labor Day, meaning that the average Ontarian could save about $600 this summer. When will the Prime Minister adopt our common sense plan, axe the carbon tax this summer so families can take their kids on vacation?
Fuck kids. Nobody cares about kids. That's why we
Mr.
want them to
Speaker,
eat
well,
off
I'm
of
glad
food
that folks
trucks.
in this House are finally being honest. He's actually saying, Mr. Speaker, just ignore the facts. Ignore the facts. Make it all up. At the end of the day, 8 out of 10 families get more money back. every reputable authority actually says that. It's only the Conservatives who campaigned on the basis of putting
It's only misleading if you don't answer the fucking question, you know, like liberals, right?
Planet burn would take a position like that.
Oh my god, I must yell! Otherwise, no one will believe me!
The honourable member from Halliburton, Kawartha Lakes, Brock.
Speaker, the facts are food bank usage is at the highest level it's ever been, and that's because of policies by this NDP Liberal government. In fact, this summer, my community that relies on tourism is being punished because the Liberals refuse to reduce their carbon tax. Canadians can actually save money. In Ontario, approximately $600 from today until Labor Day could be saved if the Liberals reduce the tax on all gasoline. Now, Speaker, when will Liberals accept this? And
by the way, this CPAC broadcast has got a climate change rider underneath the video. So yeah, the cameraman doesn't realize he has a broken cable.
In the pandemic, the Conservatives wouldn't have been there for small businesses and people that were suffering. No. Their response
and it looks like the mid-camera
to the
feed.
challenges that are around the globe is to say to people who are suffering, let's pretend those issues aren't happening in our country, and we can help you out by taking away your rebate check. We can.
What the fuck you put the because we feed? Oh my god! Yeah, they're taking away the rebate check because they'll take away the tax, and then we won't need the rebate because we won't be spending the money.
And help you out by taking away dental care from a senior, taking away a diabetic patient's medication. Mr. Speaker, you don't help vulnerable people in a time of global
No, it's
turmoil.
every reputable authority, not the 300 analysts. Yeah, it keeps changing. It's every reputable authority and instead of the 300
by
economists.
cutting their essential supports, you help them by standing up and standing behind them, and that's what our government does every day.
The honourable member for Charlebourg-Haute-Saint-Charles. After 9 years of this Liberal government and its uncontrolled spending, Quebecers are in a cost of living crisis and they really need a break. That's why we are asking for a federal gas tax holiday to make gas cheaper. For the holidays, you need a car to get around, but instead of supporting us, the Bloc prefers to follow the woke ideology of the Plateau Mont-Royal and thinks everybody should get around in the bus. Will the Prime Minister accept our request and give...
The bus that still spews a whole bunch of diesel and shit into the air, unless they're the super duper clean buses.
Canadians a gas tax holiday. The Honourable Minister of Public Services and Procurement. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would invite my colleague to meet with economists at the University of Laval to understand something very simple.
Yeah,
8
meet with the
families
economists.
out of 10, when the price applies, get more back in their pockets than they pay for the carbon tax.
And how much do these economists
The
make
money from the carbon
a
tax
year?
goes back to Canadians. Richer Canadians pay more, and medium or middle-class Canadians get more back than they pay. 8 families out of 10 get more back from the carbon price, and that's true across the country where the price applies. The honourable member for Charlebourg-Haute-Saint-Charles. Mr. Speaker, we know that, the minister seems to be getting ready for another university job after the election. But there's nobody in Quebec who gets a check in compensation, and the tax that we're asking them to cut, those are taxes that Quebecers pay, and they don't get money back from that. Will the minister accept a gas tax holiday for the summer to help Quebecers who go on holiday?
If it's a rebate, that means it's money you're giving me back for taking. Yup. And then liberals are too stupid to open a fucking dictionary. True.
The Honourable Minister of Public Services and Procurement. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If my colleague doesn't appreciate economists from the University of Laval, well, there's economists across the country who
There's
are
other
explaining to them. 300
economists that
across
we
the
paid
country
off
signed a letter
to
confirming that 8 families out of 10
everything
get
would be
more back into
okay.
their pockets than they pay with the carbon price. It's simple. All of the money from the carbon price is returned to Canadians, and richer Canadians pay more. Canadians from the middle class.
Then why are we giving it to you if you're giving us all of it back? What are you doing? Just holding the money for us? What the fuck do you mean you're giving it all back? Did I just hear that right?
than they pay with the carbon price. It's simple. All of the money from the carbon price is returned to Canadians, and richer Canadians pay more. Canadians from the middle class and low-income Canadians get more back in their pockets, and obviously, it reduces pollution.
Wait, okay, so first they get all the money back, and then some people get more. Huh? What? What? Yes, let's all sardine ourselves into the bus. That'll all save money. Go fuck yourselves. We don't even have a bus system. What the all the money goes back into the... Okay. Sure.
Then I have the honourable member for Avignon-Lamitis Matapédia. Some think that Canada is too small to have an influence on climate change. On Thursday, Carbon Brief reminded everyone that since 1850, Canada is in the top 10 of countries that have contributed to climate change, and we're certainly not the most populous of those 10 countries. That makes Canadians most responsible for global warming per capita.
What the Explain how that math works. What? I'm gonna run that back, because that just, I can't even repeat that stupidity.
Have contributed to climate change. Canada is in the top 10 of countries that have contributed to climate change, and we're certainly not the most populous of those 10 countries. That makes Canadians most responsible for global warming per capita.
Yeah. They actually just said that. What the fuck? Oh, there's the problem. They're from the University of Laval.
However, Canada continues to increase gas production, particularly with Trans Mountain. Increasing gas production is being responsible for climate change. When will the Liberals stop it? The Honourable Minister of Environment Change. Thank you. I'd like to thank my colleague for her question, and I'd like to announce
I'd like to thank my colleague for her retarded question. Because there's no possible way that Canada can be the most responsible for global warming per capita.
The climate scorecard gave us a mark of 70% in 2024 for our fight against climate change, and our greenhouse gases emissions went down by over 50 million tons, Mr. Speaker. That's the equivalent of taking 15 million cars off our streets. So we're getting there. We need to keep working to fight climate change, and every sector of the economy, all regions need to contribute to this fight.
That's not an answer.
The honourable member for Avignon-Lamitis Matapédia.
No, it's not, you stupid asshole.
I'll remind the minister that Canadians are per capita the most responsible for climate change since 1850, according to Carbon Brief.
Carbon Brief. Oh, that doesn't sound unbiased at all. No, not a thing called Carbon Brief.
Meanwhile, there's concern about the increase in infectious diseases linked to climate change in Canada. For example, a 1,000% increase in Lyme disease cases in Canada over 10 years. And Public Health is also worried that that mosquitoes that are responsible for Zika or malaria could eventually thrive in Canada. There's a human cost. So when will Canada lower its oil and gas production?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Canada's oil and gas production is not the issue. The fact that the world is warming up on its own is probably more the problem than anything that we're doing. We're not helping, but anything that we're doing is not even close to the volcanism that's going on in the planet. And who the fuck are these people? I don't... Apparently Carbon Brief.
The Honourable Minister of Environment and Climate Change. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to remind my honourable colleague that in recent years we've put in place clean gas standards, and the Conservatives voted against that. We'll continue with our price on carbon, something that the Conservatives promised that they would do as well in the last election, but they've changed their mind since then.
Yeah, because a lot's
have,
changed since
standards
then.
for zero-emission cars in Canada. By 2035, we want to see zero-emissions cars across Canada, and we will continue to protect Canadians from climate change. The Honourable Member for Avignon, Metapedia. Canadians are per capita historically the most responsible for climate change around.
Keep repeating that lie. Maybe it'll be true.
The world, according to Carbon Brief, but it's not the same for Quebecers. While the average Canadian emits 21 tons of greenhouse gases per year, a Quebecer is responsible for
the fact that the city folk want to cry about mosquitoes is fucking hilarious. Watch the cicadas are going to come across the border, and that's going to be climate change's fault. Yep.
from 9.8. So
God damn it, get out of the translator booth and go to the floor.
Create
he does sound a lot like Trudeau,
but we're
doesn't he?
paying for dirty oil, like with Trans Mountain. So Ottawa is making us complicit in climate change. So why will the government not change its tone?
Complicit in climate change? Oh my God.
I'd like to remind my honourable colleague that over half of the oil consumed in Quebec is Canadian. 360 million barrels of oil go to Quebec every day, Mr. Speaker. Yes, we do better than the rest of the country, but there's efforts to be made in Quebec as well. Nobody isn't affected by climate change. There's nobody who can do better than everyone else. We all need to work together to fight climate change.
Yes.
The honourable member from Edmonton, Mill Woods.
Let's fight climate change. It's such a big deal. And we can totally stop the volcanoes from volcanoing.
After 9 years, this NDP Liberal Prime Minister is not worth the hunger or the homelessness. The Calgary Herald reports of a single mother struggling to feed her family. Edith said, I pay all of the important things first, mortgage, utilities, insurance, condo fees, and then feed the kids. If I have anything left over, they can do activities. She has resorted to feeding her family at the community kitchen. Mr. Speaker, far too many Canadians are in this sad reality. When will this government axe the carbon tax, give Canadians a break, and allow families like Edith to actually feed their families?
Hear, hear. The Honourable Minister of Housing, Infrastructure and Communities.
Mr. Speaker, I thank my honourable colleague for the question, and I take his concerns as being sincere, but it's ironic that he puts this question on the floor of the House of Commons just hours after a debate on his leader's bill, which proposes to cut many of the supports that will help people like Edith.
No, they won't help her. Because she wants to know what her kids are eating. She doesn't want them to eat from a food truck. And that's fine. She shouldn't have to. We need to increase RICO laws to prosecute climate change. Climate change is caused by organized crime.
They put forward measures that are going to increase taxes on
like
construction. Their plan includes billions of dollars in cuts to support communities that are dealing with homelessness. They plan to cut the very funds that build affordable housing opportunities for families in need. Mr. Speaker, the government will continue to make the investments that will support vulnerable people in their time of need. I invite the Conservatives to join us.
Yes.
The Honourable Member from Edmonton, Mill Woods.
Mr. Speaker, it's actually their failed policies that doubled the cost of housing. We would cut carbon
Yeah, I know,
tax
right? They're bitching about the Conservatives' plans as if the Conservatives have just gotten out of office and fucked things up. Meanwhile, they've been in office for 9 years.
Families like Edith will actually afford to pay,
No,
to pay
I'm
for
out of
groceries.
water.
And after 9 years, this NDP Liberal Prime Minister is not worth the hunger or the homelessness. And according
I'm
to the
tired of
Salvation
the lean
Army,
on single
26%
mothers
of Canadians
bullshit.
are
Yeah.
skipping or reducing
That
their
is
meals
annoying.
because they can't afford to buy groceries, and 1 in 4 Canadians are skipping meals so they can afford for their children to have food.
Pierre
Their out-of-control
Poilievre's
spending-
office didn't get, I didn't get an answer from Pierre Poilievre's office from the email I sent, but I wasn't expecting
The carbon
to.
tax are driving Canadians into poverty. When will they cut the carbon tax and give Canadians a break?
The Honourable Minister for Housing, Communities and Infrastructure.
Mr. Speaker, it is disingenuous in the extreme for the honourable colleague to argue that the very men
Spell
who put more money in the
disingenuous,
pockets of vulnerable
Sean
people
Fraser.
are driving the concerns that
Seriously.
they're experiencing now. Yet at
What
the
the
same
hell is
time,
your
he's
problem?
putting forward a plan, standing behind his leader, who wants to make sure that we cut programs that are building affordable housing, to cut funding that's going to cities.
Yes. Oh, yes, yes. The programs that you claim are going to build, what is it? A house every 57 seconds for the next 7 years? And somehow you're gonna do that. And then second of all, somehow the houses aren't going to fall the fuck down as soon as the family opens the front door.
To cut programs that are supporting vulnerable families, whether that's programs to provide affordable child care, whether that's programs to provide dental care, whether that's programs to provide essential
Dental
medicines
care
to
is
people
not
in
a
need.
federal
Mr. Speaker, it takes
jurisdiction.
investments to support the vulnerable Canadians that live in our communities. We're going to make them.
Investing is not spending all the money.
The Honourable Member from Niagara Falls.
After 9 years of this NDP Liberal
Oh,
government,
there's a
Canadians are hungry
conservative
and
in the
homeless.
Niagara
2
Falls
million
riding?
Canadians are now visiting
Shit.
food banks each month, and the Salvation Army just reported 1 in 4 Canadians have skipped or reduced the size of at least one meal because they cannot afford to buy groceries. In Niagara Falls, Project Share served more than 13,000 people last year, or
Damn.
1 in 7 residents. Instead of piling on more taxes and making life more expensive, when will this NDP Liberal government axe the tax to provide the relief struggling Canadians so badly need?
The Honourable Minister of Health.
Of course, 10 years ago, when the party opposite was
Oh,
in power,
here we go.
there were over 2 million more people in poverty. So it's a little bit
Oh,
difficult
we're
to
there.
take.
So you're telling us that there were more people using food banks back in 2015 than there are now. Is that what you're telling us? Despite the fact that Statistics Canada is telling us completely the opposite? The Liberals have played The Sims too much.
Take their protestations when they had the opportunity, and they didn't talk about these issues. But I have a direct question for the Conservatives.
Because
When you're
those
dealing
issues
with a
didn't
senior,
really
like a
exist
senior
back
who
then.
this
They
week, for the
existed,
first
but
time
nowhere
in
near
41
as
years,
badly
get
as they
dentures in
do
their
now.
mouth. A senior who has had plastic plates, that's all they have left to crunch food in their mouth. I have a very simple question. Do they believe that senior should get dentures, and will they support making
Of
sure that
course
she
they do,
does?
but they believe that the province should provide them, not the federal
Member
government.
for Rosemont La Petite Patrie.
No!
It's picnic and barbecue season, and people are wondering what they're going to be able to buy to eat. While Quebecers are making sacrifices,
Nothing.
CEOs are rubbing their hands, and money keeps pouring in. And they're laughing because they know the Liberals won't make them pay their fair share. And the Conservatives, forget it. They'd never touch their donors' profits. Will the Liberals finally admit what everyone already knows? As long as they're around, there won't be a break for people who can't afford to buy groceries.
And as long as you're around, we're all gonna be fucking poor.
The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Finance. Mr. Speaker, our government has a plan. an economic
Motherfucker
plan
just said 10 years ago like it was yesterday.
for
I
fairness
know!
For all generations. We have a
I
plan.
know! It's like
for
they think
fairness
we're
with
dumb
respect
and
to
we don't
taxes.
hear this shit.
And that is why our government is showing with our plan that the wealthiest have to pay their fair share. And with this revenue, our government will help Quebecers in terms of dental care and help children across the country.
The Honourable Member from Victoria.
Mr. Speaker, a recent report outlines the devastating impacts of the climate crisis over the next decade.
Oh, here we go. More climate shit.
We can expect ecosystems collapsing, overwhelmed, and a scarcity of vital resources. And in the face of this, the Liberals...
The Honourable Member from Victoria, her microphones were working at the time that she started a question. I invite her to start from the top.
Mr. Speaker, a recent report outlines the devastating impacts of the climate crisis over the next decade. We can expect ecosystems collapsing, our emergency responses overwhelmed, and a scarcity of vital resources. And in the face of this, the Liberals
Collapsing
keep breaking
ecosystems,
their
eh?
climate promises. In fact, they're still allowing
How about
big polluters
evolving
to increase
ecosystems?
their emissions.
How about the fact that, did you guys not think that the planet is is changing and it's supposed to be getting warmer right now? Did you guys not think that maybe we're supposed to be warming up as a planet and maybe the ecosystems are supposed to change? Oh, no, Canada's always been Canada. The climate's always been the way it's been. There's the continents have never been in a different position. No, none of that.
Emissions. And the Conservatives can't even agree if climate change is real. The Prime Minister is meeting with his youth council. Is he going to be honest about how
look
he
at the
is
regional
fueling
talking
the climate
point.
crisis and endangering their future?
Endangering their future.
The Honourable Minister of the Environment and Climate Change.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I would like to correct my honourable colleague. Since before the pandemic, our emissions have gone down in Canada, and we have one of the best performance of all G7 countries when it comes to reducing our greenhouse gas emissions since 2019. But I would agree with her. More needs to be done, which is why we have put together the first ever national adaptation strategy, working with provinces, territory, Indigenous nation, municipalities to ensure that we are better prepared to help Canadians and their communities face the impacts of climate change. Something, unfortunately,
So more
that the
money.
Conservative Party of
Spend
Canada
more money
can't even
and the
come to
climate
mention.
change will be fine. We're just going to
The
spend our
Honourable
way
Member from
out of
Don
this
Valley
problem.
East.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Our government presented Canadians with a housing plan that will increase the housing supply across the country. A core measure of the plan is the removal of GST off of new apartments, student housing, and cooperatives. Earlier today,
Because
the House
everybody
debated
wants
the
to live in a
Conservative Leaders'
co-op.
Housing Plan, Bill C-356. Mr. Speaker, this bill would actually put the tax back on the construction of middle-class apartments. Can the Minister of Housing tell Canadians where the government stands on the Conservative leaders' plan to reimpose a rent tax on middle-class apartments? Thank you, Mr.
The Honourable Minister for Housing, Infrastructure and Communities.
Mr. Speaker, I thank my honourable colleague for the question. I can just imagine the setting when the leader of the Conservatives sat down with the napkin he wrote his housing plan upon and thought, what can I do to address the housing crisis? Idea one, raise taxes on home construction. You can't
Wow,
do this, Mr.
Sean,
Speaker, but
wow.
wait, that's not all. They also plan to cut
Wow,
funding for
Sean.
affordable housing. They also
Really?
plan to cut funding for cities that build more housing, and they plan to cut the measures
That's
that are
how
going to
you're
make it
gonna
easier
act?
for young people to buy their first home. When you look at the Conservative leaders' private
I'm
numbers,
sorry. How many young people have been able to buy their first home since you guys have taken office?
you won't find a housing plan. You'll find a disaster.
The Honourable Member from Kenora.
After 9 years, this NDP Liberal Prime Minister is not worth the hunger and homelessness. Mr. Speaker, a recent CBC report highlighted the reality for people living in Thunder Bay. There, neighbors are having to share groceries and other essentials just to be able to get by. Now, realizing that Canadians are struggling and that their plan has received a failing grade from the Poverty Report Card, will this Prime Minister finally axe the carbon tax and stop his inflationary spending to bring home lower prices for all Canadians?
No, because we've got to spend more money to make the wildfires go away.
Communities.
Mr. Speaker, I have a hard time accepting this question from a member who I respect and believe is here for the right reasons when he puts the question in a frame of
Holy
homelessness, but is
shit.
willing to stand behind his leader.
I love
when he
how the
proposes
Liberals
to
are
cut
constantly
funding
questioning
that
the
serve
motives
homeless
of the
Canadians across this
MPs
country.
there for their
Mr. Speaker, I
constituents.
never hear ideas from the Conservatives about making more
What the
investments
fuck?
to support vulnerable people.
That
I
is
never
terrible.
hear ideas from the Conservatives that will actually result in more homes being built.
You realize that the Conservatives haven't questioned the any of the Liberal members like loyalty or whatever to their constituents at all, and the Liberals have continuously gone after the Conservatives' agenda when it comes to fighting for their constituents. Like, how fucked up is that?
It's cut every step of the way. They do not want to put measures in place that will help vulnerable Canadians. We absolutely will.
can invite all members, please. It's been a really pretty good question period to listen to the questions and to listen to the answers. And to please lend their attention to the honourable member from Kenora.
Mr. Speaker, the minister can try to deflect and deny as much as he wants, but the fact of the matter is, after 9 years, it's his government's policies that have caused hunger and homelessness to rise.
Not the Conservatives.
1 in 4 Canadians are struggling to put food on the table. People are spending over 30% of their incomes on housing alone, Mr. Speaker. This is the NDP Liberal plan in action. How can they possibly believe that their plan is working?
The Honourable Minister
because it's working for them. That's how.
Infrastructure and communities.
Mr. Speaker, he wants to talk about our policies on affordability. How about the Canada Child Benefit that puts more money
The
in the pockets of 9
Conservatives
out of
came
10
up with
Canadian
that
families
benefit. They
and
just
stopped
called it
sending
something else.
child care checks to millionaires, yet his party voted against it. Let's look at the change that restored the age of retirement to 65 from 67. His party voted against it. Let's look at the guaranteed income supplement for low-income single seniors increasing by up to $947. His party voted against it.
Yeah, because
Let's look at the student loan forgiveness
$947
measures
is
for
a
healthcare
joke.
professionals that work in communities like mine. Their party votes against it. Every time they have a chance to help someone, they say no.
Because your plans don't work, and they go against provincial jurisdiction.
This NDP Liberal government is receiving a failing grade in Newfoundland and Labrador. Back home, according to Food Banks Canada and its annual poverty report card, almost half are paying more than 30% of their earnings to house themselves. 40% are worried about feeding themselves. Mr. Speaker, after 9 years, this NDP Liberal Prime Minister is not worth the hunger and the homelessness. So will he listen to the premiers who begged him to axe the tax so that people can feed and house themselves?
Nope. I wish they would just come out and say, Mr. Speaker, no.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, if my colleague, honorable colleague,
you can't even say that.
Really wanted to, honorable colleague opposite, really wanted to do something for Newfoundlanders and Labradorians and all Atlantic Canadians, he'd vote to pass the fall economic statement, because that would mean $1,430 to members, families of 4 in his riding. That means $2,160 to family of 4 in Alberta, $1,805 to families in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, except we don't want to be paying the money that would require you to send that particular money back. We want that money to stay in our pockets.
$1,440 to families in Manitoba, $1,300
New
to families in
Brunswick or
Ontario,
Manitoba? Which one?
$912 to families in New Brunswick. That's how we help Canadians.
No, it's not.
The honourable member from Costa Bay Central, Notre Dame.
Mr. Speaker, I find that a bit rich coming from my colleague from Long Range Mountains who voted against Bill C-251, against the sealing industry, against the fishing industry, against the people in our very own riding, Madam Speaker.
Against the forestry industry in Quebec.
The matter at hand here, 45% back home have an inadequate standard of living. 35% have a severely inadequate standard of living. 26% are experiencing food insecurity. So after 9 years, while this NDP Liberal Prime Minister, who's not worth the hunger and not worth the homelessness, axe the tax and listen to the premiers back home.
I love how the Liberals start jeering every time a Conservative MP loses the flow of their speech. The Liberals are like, oh, he lost his flow. Oh, it's like, what the are you guys that childish?
The Honourable Minister for Rural Economic Development and for COA.
Mr. Speaker, I'll tell you what we do on this side of the House. On this side of the House, we support communities. We support businesses. So I'd love to know the member opposite's comment to the 181 projects that COA has funded in his riding that supported 64 businesses, 43 not-for-profit organizations, and he voted against every single one of those, Mr. Speaker. That's supporting businesses. That's supporting communities. That's what we do, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member for La Pointe de Lille. While the Liberals were making headlines with their contradictions about French, Last week, the report from Quebec's Office de langue française went unnoticed. Yet, guess which sector ranks first among Quebec's workplaces where it's hardest to work in French most of the time?
Public service.
The federal government. Yes, that's right. The federal government is Quebec's worst sector when it comes to Quebecers' right to work in their own language. Will the Liberals finally stop encouraging the decline of French in Quebec?
Nope.
The Honorable President of the Treasury Board, Mr. Speaker.
Why is the
our two official
what?
languages are
Why
a
is the
wealth
President
for
of the
all
Treasury
Canadians,
Board talking?
And we will continue to protect both
That
official
doesn't make any
languages
sense.
every time, every month, every year, Mr. Speaker. We have done so since 2015. Our government has been committed to promote both in French, English, and after 10 years of investments, the opposition, well, what are we going to do? We're going to continue to protect both official languages always, Mr. Speaker. The Honourable Member for La Pointe-de-L'Île. The federal government is the worst machine for anglicizing workers, according to Quebec's OLF, and the impact is catastrophic. Take Gatineau, where the federal government is the largest employer. Between 2016 and 2021, the percentage of people working mainly in French fell from 77% to 62%. That's a 17% drop in just 4 years.
No, it's not.
Quebec's
That's a
fourth largest city
drop.
Is rapidly becoming anglicized.
I mean, even I suck at math, but 77 minus 15 is 62, not okay. Wow.
Of the Liberals. I repeat my question. Will the Liberals finally stop encouraging the decline of French in Quebec? The Honourable Government House Leader. Mr. Speaker, thank you. My Honourable Bloc colleague has admitted something. He has admitted saying that he hates the fact that Quebecers are working right now and contributing to support the best country in the world, Canada.
No, he didn't. Wow. The gaslighting. Wow. Because he said that workers are not allowed to work in French, that he hates and he hates that fact. So saying that he hates the fact that workers aren't allowed to work in their language means that he hates that workers are working for the Quebec workers are working for the federal government. Wow.
From offices that are located on the Quebec side of the river and on the Ontario side of the river. And Quebecers are also strongly contributing to make sure that we have a bilingual country that respects its official languages and helps to grow Canada. The Honourable Member for Bellechasse, Les-Chemin-Lévis. Mr. Speaker, after 9 years, this Liberal Bloc government isn't worth the cost. The Bloc voted for $500 billion in appropriations because it wants to keep the Liberal government in power. Quebecers are sleeping in dumpsters, homeless, and hungry. And the Bloc is supporting the Liberals who are responsible for this suffering. Can this Liberal Bloc Prime Minister stop his out-of-control spending, allow Quebecers to live in dignity? The Honourable Minister of Public Services.
Oh, no, Christopher.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to remind my colleague that her leader created 6 affording housing units.
Oh, my God. Here we go with the 6 houses
many
again.
In her writing in recent months opened. Does she agree with the leader?
Because we didn't need a whole bunch of affordable housing back in the day.
Dental health program doesn't exist. While in her writing, there are 9,000 seniors that have signed up for this in her writing, and
how many times are you going to say in her writing?
Receive dental care for the first time in their lives.
That's a lot of
They're saying this regime doesn't exist. The Honourable Member for Bellechasse.
How about the decline of national languages across the country, not just the French? Yup.
This Liberal Bloc Prime Minister, Quebecers are living in unbearable misery because of this housing and homelessness crisis. The more the Bloc-supported government spends, the more the Quebec nation loses. Bloc.
There is no Quebec nation.
The Bloc is
Shut
keeping its
up.
prime minister in power. Can they start thinking of Quebecers instead of supporting the misery imposed on them by this prime minister? The honourable minister. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My colleague is saying that people are having a hard time, but people in my region are also having a hard time when they try to understand that the Conservatives are saying that the dental health care system doesn't exist.
Because it doesn't. The dentists are saying it too. It's not just the Conservatives. The dentists are. Like, Sun Life is. Like, what are you talking about?
Her writing, there are 9,000 seniors that have signed up. Thousands of people in Quebec have been able to access dental care for the first time. You get even more confused when you hear these figures when the leader of the Conservatives is saying that this dental care system doesn't exist.
Because it doesn't.
Honourable Member for Lévis-Lotbinière, Mr. Speaker, after 9 years of this Liberal Bloc Prime Minister, it's too much to take the result. Increased homelessness and empty stomachs. The Bloc, by supporting all the $500 billion budget appropriations, has amplified inflation, housing costs, energy costs, grocery costs, the cost of bureaucracy, and centralizing power. Mr. Speaker, going hungry and sleeping on a park bench has become the daily life for too many people. Quebecers are having a hard time, and is it the best the Bloc and the Liberals have to offer Quebecers?
Honestly, it seems like it.
The Honourable Minister.
It seems like it.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Like that's
Speaker.
all they can do.
When I see the Conservatives across the way with their hands on their hearts, Mr. Speaker, talking about affordability. What hypocrisy, Mr. Speaker.
With their hands on their hearts talking about affordability. I love how the Liberals are openly mocking Conservatives and and in essence the Canadians who elected these people to be their representatives because they don't believe and are ideologically aligned with the Liberal government. I love how they're mocking the MPs and their constituents for being impoverished and suffering and wanting a change.
They have voted against the dental care program. They're against the Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
No, they're not. What the fuck are you talking about?
To attack reproductive rights of women,
yes,
Mr. Speaker.
Of course they
and
are.
Deprive diabetics of medication. It is shameful, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, because before this program, diabetics were not getting insulin anywhere in Canada. There was no insulin in Canada. No provincial programs in place. Absolutely not. Before this pharmacare program, no diabetics in Canada were getting their insulin. They were just dropping dead.
The honourable member from St. John's East.
Mr. Speaker, today the House is debating C-356, the Conservative leader's housing proposal. In the Conservative leader's bill, there is no mention of students, seniors, workers, and the most vulnerable in this country. Can the Deputy Prime Minister please tell Canadians what our plan focuses on? How we are working to create more affordable homes faster across Canada, and how the Conservative leader's plan will slow down building.
Can you tell us how our plan is better?
The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to thank my colleague for her excellent question.
I would like to thank my colleague for making me look really, really good and kissing my ass. Let me tell you about our excellent plan.
Because, you know what? Here is what the Conservatives are actually proposing to do on housing. They want to eliminate the Renters' Bill of Rights.
Yeah, because it's stupid.
More homes faster. They want to actually
and it should be a provincial thing.
Funding that municipalities need to get more homes built, and they want to put the tax back on.
Wow.
Purpose-built rental construction.
Yeah, because those are built by corporations, and corporations should be taxed.
The honourable member from Northumberland, Peterborough South.
Mr. Speaker, after 9 years as NDP Liberal government, Canadians are in trouble. On Thursday, we learned from an OSFI risk report that Canadian homeowners who renew their mortgages in 2026 will be facing a payment shock. What this means is that as of February 2024, 76% of Canadians are in jeopardy of losing their homes.
Gee,
After
it's a
9
good
years
thing we
of
don't
this
have to
NDP
renew until
Liberal government,
2020
many
fucking
Canadians are now facing the very real fact they will be losing their homes. These Liberals are just not worth the cost. Will the Liberals commit today to stopping their inflationary spending, to drive down interest rates, to make housing affordable, so that Canadians can keep their homes?
The Honourable...
No, they
Prime
want
Minister,
homeless
Minister
Canadians so
Finance.
that the Canadians will
Speaker,
take more
as we have been
handouts
making clear throughout question
and be
period,
thankful.
The only thing the Conservatives want to do is cut, and actually put taxes back on home builders.
Cut,
but when it comes to
go the
fiscal policy,
Conservatives.
Mr. Speaker, let me quote the
Spend,
Parliamentary
spend,
Budget
spend,
Officer
go we.
speaking last week in the other place. Canada compares rather favorably on a debt to GDP ratio when compared to G7 countries.
Rather
We're probably the
favorably.
least
Rather favorably. I'm sorry. I don't want to be rather favorably compared. I want to be like the best. And honestly, I don't care right now. I just want our people to be able to eat.
Least or second least indebted country. Mr. Speaker,
Second least?
Conservatives are absolutely wrong about everything, including fiscal policy.
No, we're probably the second most indebted.
Very gently, I'd just like to ask the Honourable Member from Cumberland Colchester to please only take the floor when he is recognised to be... Sorry, did I say Cumberland Colchester? My part. Dufferin Caledon.
Wow! Way to go, Craig.
Now the Honourable
Good
Member
job,
from
Craig.
Northumberland, Peterborough South has the floor.
Well, in the next election, we'll let Canadians decide exactly who is wrong. And if you listen to these Liberals talk about this, you would think they never had it so good. The truth, it couldn't be any further. The fact is, we have tent cities from coast to coast. We have students who are living underneath bridges. We have workers who are living in their cars. You know what? If these Liberals won't listen to Canadians, if they won't listen to Conservatives, listen to your own regulators. Stop the spending, drive down costs, so Canadians can keep their homes.
There are no victims in this bill, so that makes everyone a victim.
Well, Mr. Speaker, there will, of course, be a next election, and at that moment in time, Canadians will be able to look at who has the record of
That Jesus Christ. Yours 2 feet in the grave, 2 feet in the fucking grave, die already.
supporting vulnerable people. And I can say to you, the record of the Conservative Party of Canada in this country in standing up and fighting for vulnerable people, fighting for people who don't have homes, fighting for people who are in poverty is abysmal, Mr. Speaker. And that's just the plain facts. Every time they have a chance to stand up and fight for those who are in need, they instead turn to ancient trickle-down economics that don't work, and they'll try it all over again. People have seen the game, they know what's up, and I don't think they're going to buy it.
The Honourable Member from Peterborough Kawartha.
9 years of this Liberal NDP government, Canadians are hungry and homeless. In the Minister of Housing's own backyard, 10 people are going homeless every single week.
Damn.
Canadians feel they don't even have enough money to live. Canadians are spending 64% of their income on housing, which under that Prime Minister has doubled. While 10 cities become normal and they gaslight Canadians and tell them they've never had it so good, Conservatives are fighting. So when will they wake up and vote in favor of our build homes, not bureaucracy bill?
Yeah! Never! Because that would mean they would have to admit they would be wrong.
Minister for Housing, Infrastructure and Communities.
Mr. Speaker, my honourable colleague would like to talk about my community. I want to take an opportunity to thank the service providers at shelters like Viola's Place. I want to thank you to our partners at Cody's Place who are benefiting
Oh
from
yes, let me thank the
investment
shelter
to build
people
more
for
affordable
keeping my constituents from being completely homeless.
For vulnerable families in that community.
At least we have
Take a minute
shelters.
to talk about her community. She goes and shows up for ribbon cuttings for projects that we have funded when she voted against them in the House of Commons. It's important that our words match our actions if we're going to solve the housing crisis.
What's she supposed to do? Not show up for ribbon cuttings? Because then if she didn't show up for ribbon cuttings, you'd roast her for that.
The Conservatives will do the same.
The Honourable Member for Châteauguay-Lacolle. Mr. Speaker, our government has introduced a plan to free up 250,000 new housing units by 2031 on federal, provincial, territory, and municipal Crown lands. The Conservative leader has debated his housing plan, Bill C-356, which would sell federal buildings to the highest bidder with no guarantee of affordable housing.
Well, probably more of a guarantee than what you're doing.
Can the Minister of Public Works explain to Canadians how our plan to conserve federal lands will create affordable housing across the country? The Honourable Minister of Public Services and Procurement. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
No, he asked the Minister of Public Works.
Is right to talk about affordable housing. Do you know, Mr. Speaker, how many housing units the Conservative leader built? 6 units only. We are building 8,000 units in Quebec. Fortunately, the Conservative leader, well, he would eliminate these 8,000 units that would be built. In coming months, we are going to establish a fund to make.
Why did you have to come in?
Buildings and units
This
available to
translator
the
is
community.
fucking horrible.
I would just ask the member for Pont-Jacques-Cartier to only speak when he has been recognized by the chair.
Member from Winnipeg Centre has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. While Winnipeg Centre has among the highest rates of youth poverty in Canada, Resource Assistance for Youth Inc. Level Up Job Placement and Education Program has been placed at risk by the Liberals' funding delays. After 7 months of waiting, this has forced Ray to discontinue vital programming for youth and lay off staff. Shameful, Mr. Speaker. Will the minister
Why does she sound like she just finished having a cigarette
program and protect the livelihoods
before she went on this? Like, it
an
sounds like she was just before she unmuted her mic to make this question. It sounds like she just finished her cigarette.
Ability crisis.
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'd like to thank the member opposite for her advocacy for young people in her riding. I can tell you that the youth employment and skills strategy has been hugely popular this year.
Is she
across
high?
the country. There are so many programs.
I think
that are
she's
looking
high.
For this funding to support our youth.
I think
to
this-
Get them
I
back
think-
to the
I
workforce,
think
and
this lady is
absolutely,
high.
I support these organizations getting the funding they need to continue.
The Honourable Member from Kitchener Centre.
Mr. Speaker, while the number of people living unsheltered is up across the country by almost 90% since 2018, in my community it's even worse. The number of people living rough has almost tripled. A recent
Living
PBO
rough.
report shows this government is
Is that what
investing
you
less
call
than
it?
1/7 of what is needed to even cut the rate of chronic homelessness in half. This government seems to have billions to subsidize the largest companies in the country. When will they do better by those living unsheltered and commit the funds they need to close this gap?
Never, because
The
those
Honourable
people are
Minister of
usually
Housing, Infrastructure and
disabled or
Communities.
mentally ill, and they
Mr.
don't
Speaker,
care
I
about
thank
those
my
people.
colleague for his question and for his advocacy on behalf of the most vulnerable who call his part of the country home. With respect, we're going to make the investments necessary to support some of the country's most vulnerable, including by partnering with communities who serve homeless Canadians, but also by making the investments necessary worth billions of dollars to build out the affordable housing stock so people have a durable solution. There are no
A
immediate
durable
solutions to solve
solution,
the
yes.
challenges that
That's
so many
what
Canadians are
everybody
facing.
wants to hear about their house. It's durable. That's the description of my house that I want. It's durable.
But consistent investment over time, as we have been doing and will continue to ramp up, is going to make a meaningful difference in the lives of some of the most vulnerable Canadians. Thank you.
Et voici prend fin.
So, that was question period for today. Holy shit, what a crazy show. And we have gotten to the 2-hour 55 mark, people. I am starving. I'm gonna go eat. And I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves today. I will be back tonight with the Combat Hour. And we will be doing casual matches, getting Tanya ready for the next season of Combat League. And that means Homelander should be dropping next week, because usually that's what they do with the DLCs. They drop them at the end of the season. So that's going to be interesting. And that means Farah, the cameo Farah, will be coming out in July probably. But yeah, that's going to be it for the coffee stream. I hope you enjoyed yourselves, and I hope that you will be back to join me tonight on Twitch and YouTube for the Combat Hour. Thank you for watching, and I will see you tonight.